Roping. Roping, peep, roping. New link. Pressure. Dip on the hustle. Big up First Millennial Entertainment. Live, we live. You know we go. my God.
Something alright.
Wagwan, everybody, wagwan. Welcome. Yeah, to another live. Yeah, definitely live and you learn. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, everyone. I had to push back the live for, technical difficulties. As usual, this thing is very, very new to me. It's a lot of tech involved. For example, a while ago, I was supposed to start the live, and I had everything queued up. And as soon as I had everything queued up in my browser, and as soon as I started the live in my software that links with my browser and my account, everything just started to go wrong. So couldn't even get to start at 6:15 as I wanted to. But you know what? Whatever. Not a big deal. Well, at least to me. We're gonna try to make this show very short and snappy. We're gonna get to the point, but we're gonna enjoy it. It's still gonna go till 8 o'clock, so we still have a little bit of time. We have about an hour and a half. Have a few callers lined up as usual, and we're definitely gonna get into this topic. Today, this topic is gonna be about Bob Marley and Michael Jackson. Now, two of the most iconic entertainers and musicians that has ever graced this planet. They're both deceased now, rest in peace. But two of the most memorable guys, and this topic is about comparing them, not in a bad way, but comparing their fame and notoriety. I'm saying this, I'm messing up the word, but basically I'm comparing their fame, their level of fame and stardom, and their level of support and recognition, and seeing which one of these guys are going to be, when it's all said and done, which one of these guys are going to be the most or more famous, that is. So I'm looking at their current history, their current, and I'm trying to predict their future, basically. Well, not me particularly, but it's an analysis, and we're here to talk about it and see what people are thinking. Do you think Michael Jackson is ultimately gonna remain the most influential, most popular entertainer, most graced entertainer, or is it gonna be Bob Marley? I mean, there's a couple things that they both have. Michael Jackson has this big stardom. He's known across the world, and he came up in a bigger market, I would say, the American market, pop music. But Bob Marley, even though he didn't have such a big market, reggae is like a really big market, don't get me wrong, but compared to pop is a bigger market. But even though Bob was in a different market, our market with less paying seats, he was still able to make his way into different areas and cross over into different markets, and solidify his name as a legend, as a GOAT in this industry. So basically that's what the live is all about. So a couple things I want to go into before I start the live, right? Guys, if you notice right here, there's a chat. Now I can pop the chat up. So whenever you guys go ahead and type something in the chat, I can basically pop it up and show what you guys are saying, highlight it, so you guys can be more involved in the chat, basically. So that's a new feature that we have here. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. That was my chat a while ago. New link, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I had to create a new link. I just had to do it because I didn't know what else to do. I tried to use the old link a couple times. I sent the link out to a bunch of people that initially had the original link. So I hope you guys are not looking at the old link. I hope you're here with the new link. All right. Yeah. So what else? Updates. Yeah. So if you guys haven't noticed as yet, if you go to my well, you're already on my YouTube page, but if you go to the video section of my YouTube page, you will see a couple new videos that I dropped. One of them particularly is the video about Noah Lyles and Stephen A. when Stephen A. was basically contesting what Noah Lyles is saying, to say that the NBA championships is not a world championship. So my argument was to agree with Noah Lyles. Stephen A. Actually disagreed with him for many reasons. I won't get into all of that. But I tell you what, long story short, go ahead and watch the video and see what it's all about, right? And then I also did a video about Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't, look, I'm not going to say that name. Giannis. Everybody knows Giannis. He's the a very, very famous basketball player for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's an NBA champion, not a world champion, but he's an NBA champion. And he's been teasing his move to the Lakers for a very long time now, even before he became champion. So I did a video about that and about, you know, the discussion around him teasing that and whether he will go to the Lakers. So that's also in the video section of the channel, right? Also, I did a video about James Harden as well. James Harden, man, come on, man. Journeyman vibes, James Harden. James Harden is looking to leave his current team that he's with right now. So in the past 4 years, James Harden would have played for about 3 different teams. That's some journeyman vibes. He was with the Rockets initially. Then he forced his way out of the Rockets, moved to the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie and KD. Still couldn't get a ring. And then he forced his way out of Brooklyn to the Philadelphia 76ers, and he still can't get a ring. So I don't know what's going on. Go ahead and check out my analysis, my review, my opinion video that I made on that, because I think he should just commit to one team and stick it out, you know, and eventually whatever he's going for, which is an NBA championship, it will come. But you can't be jumping around like that. You got to be patient. You got to give them a chance to build a team around you. All right. So yeah, I mean, it's like that. It's like that. Salute to everybody in the live. Yeah, man. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I definitely want to get into the video without further ado. Like I said, we have some we do have some callers that are waiting right now, and you know, I want to at least introduce the topic, get it running, get it nice and smooth, so that everything can be okay. All right. Let me pin this chat real quick before I get into it. Hold on. Howard Chin says, maybe me biased, but Bob Marley is iconic in a way that Michael can't live up to. I remember the whole Amsterdam singing One Love in Amsterdam. Bob Marley is senior legend. MJ is junior to him. All right. So guns blazing, guys. All right. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get into the video, guys. Let me go ahead and get into the video. All right. So let's just make sure this is working. All right. All right. Cool. It's working. All right. So as you guys can see, the topic for today, a tale of two icons, Michael Jackson and Bob Marley, comparing their fame and predicting their future legacies. So that's what it's all about, guys. This one is a big one. But before we do anything, first we got to pay the bills, right? Let's get into the sponsors. So the first sponsor is Katrina Correa. Katrina Correa, real estate professional with Remax for real estate purchases and rentals in South Florida. You can contact Katrina at Remax Direct at 561-420-4722. Or you can email her at Katrina at thejphomegroup.com. You can also reach her at katrinacorrea.remax.com. Guys, there's a Hometown Heroes Florida housing program going on right now that started at July 1st, 2023. And it says all working residents in Florida are now eligible to receive up to $35,000 down payment and closing cost assistance to buy a home. Guys, $35,000. If you're in the South Florida area, if you're in the Florida area, you're looking for a house to buy, you're looking for a house to rent or apartment to rent, if you're looking for raw land, anything real estate wise, contact Katrina Correa at 561-420-4722. All right. Our next sponsor is Millennials Trucking. millennialstruckingllc.com. That's their website for local and long distance shipping throughout the state of Georgia. And they also go out of state. So if you have anything that you need to haul, whether it may be for the business or whether it may be for personal, if you're just trying to move stuff around, move your house or whatever it is, you can contact them. They will get you right. Professional haulers, definitely they go out of state. They'll go long distance, short distance, doesn't matter. Contact millennialstruckingllc.com. Go put it in your browser. Go in there and sign up. You'll get a request. Sign up a request. Get it moving. Get your stuff moving. Okay. Our next sponsor is White Eagle Electric Inc. South Florida Services, commercial and residential, industrial lighting, home automation, high voltage, low voltage, data, fire alarm, video distribution, surveillance system, POE, phone systems, and more. Guys, contact Norman at 561-693-7227 or contact Lloyd at 561-541-1185. Again, contact Norman at 561-693-7227 or Lloyd at 561-541-1185. And if you guys don't know, this is an electric company. If you're trying to hang a chandelier, if you're trying to hang a ceiling fan, if you're trying to get wires ran through your walls and everything like that, pause. If you're trying to get wires ran through your walls and everything like that, definitely contact White Eagle Electric Inc. They're really good electricians in the South Florida area. They also do work within the state of Florida. So definitely contact them, all right? The next sponsor is the Loydersville Citizens Association. The other day they presented a family event, August 19th. It was a smash hit and it was for a good cause. So, definitely happy about that event. Very successful. Clap it up, guys. They had performances by Rooksy, Terry Butler, Darren, Higher Realms, Access, and many more. Also, Lyrical Nado performed as well. So definitely look out for their next event. I'll let you know whenever it comes up. But definitely a great sponsor, the Loydersville Citizens Association. They're also on Facebook. If you want to hit them up, give them a donation. It's for a worthy cause, all right? Okay, so our next sponsor is Island Buzz Restaurant for great tasting Jamaican food in Delray Beach, Florida. They have a really good menu. Lunch specials are $9, only $9. You can't beat it. You can get your choice of brown stew, chicken, jerk chicken, or curry chicken with a side of rice and peas and a canned soda. Isn't that sounding so good, right? Or you could get salads, jerk chicken salad, grilled chicken salad, shrimp salad. Also, they have appetizers, barbecue wings, fried wings, jerk wings, spicy wings, chicken Caesar wrap, jerk chicken Caesar wrap. Jerk chicken wrap. Oh my God, they got seafood, escovitch fish, steamed fish. They got it all. Where are they located? 1701 West Atlantic Ave. Their phone number is 561-634-5980. Again, their phone number is 561-634-5980, and they're at 1701 West Atlantic Ave in Delray Beach, Florida, guys. You can contact their email at islandbuzzjg@gmail.com, or you could check out their website, Island Buzz Caribbean and Cuisine. They're also on Instagram, islandbuzz_buzzjg, and Facebook, Island Buzz. So definitely go check them out, guys. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the topic, guys. Let's get into the topic. All right, cool. So Michael Jackson and Bob Marley comparing their fame and predicting future legacies. All right, so the realm of music has witnessed the rise of numerous legendary artists whose influence continues to shape their industry. Two such iconic figures are Michael Jackson and Bob Marley, both of whom have left an indelible mark on the world with their exceptional talent and distinct styles. In this article, we explore the trajectory of their fame, compare their cultural impact, and ponder who may claim the crown of continued fame in the next 20 years, guys. For all of who's that's living under a rock, Bob Marley is on the left with the dreads. Michael Jackson is the guy on the right that's pale as pale as clouds, put it that way, right? So Michael Jackson, the king of pop, here he is in the orange suit, right? Orange shirt. That's a nice shirt, by the way. Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Michael Jackson, famously known as the king of pop, revolutionized the music industry with his unparalleled artistry. His journey began at a tender age as a member of the Jackson 5. Guys, you remember the Jackson 5? A, B, C. It's all a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Jackson 5. And he subsequently embarked on a solo career that skyrocketed him to global fame. With timeless hits like Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It, Jackson's music transcended boundaries, appealing to people of all ages and backgrounds. Moreover, his mesmerizing dance moves and innovative music videos set new standards for visual representation of music. That is so true. Guys, you remember the moonwalk? Like, that's probably one of the most famous dances in the whole world. This guy did it. Michael Jackson. Bob Marley, the reggae legend. Bob Marley, on the other hand, is synonymous with reggae music and an unwavering advocate of peace and unity. His soul-stirring compositions such as One Love, Redemption Songs, and No Woman No Cry became anthems for change and social justice. Marley's music encapsulated the struggles and hopes of oppressed communities worldwide, and his charismatic stage presence further solidified his status as a global music icon. You know, look at Bob Marley. He always had charisma, even in his interviews. I mean, we did a live about this before. Bob Marley was that guy, man. You know what I mean? Had a lot of charisma. He was funny, had a sense of humor, but he also was a rebel with a cause. He had a purpose. You know, everything that he said, it meant something. And that so was his music. You know, he had such a purpose. It wasn't just singing and dancing for him. Yes, singing and dancing was a part of it, but, you know, he had a bigger purpose. And that's why he's so popular and he's so famous and he's so revered and respected, you know. Comparing cultural impact, right? Both Michael Jackson and Bob Marley left profound impacts on music and culture, albeit in different ways, right? Michael Jackson's influence can be seen in pop culture, right? Fashion and dance, and his contributions to the music video format remained unparalleled. He opened doors for artists of color, which is true, paving the way for future generations to follow. Marley, on the other hand, Marley, on the other hand, uses music as a platform to promote peace, love, and unity, becoming a symbol of resistance and hope for countless individuals worldwide. Now, this is where the articles get into the differences, right? So Michael Jackson definitely kicked in the door for colored people, or for black people. I don't like to use the word colored people. Michael Jackson kicked in the door for black people to be famous in music, you know, and be respected, revered in music, because, you know, people love to listen black music prior to Michael Jackson, yeah? But it was more of a hush-hush thing where, you know, they loved the song, but they didn't like to portray that black person on the TV screen. You know, it was like that back in the day. But Michael Jackson was one of the first guys, the pioneers, to, you know, to be accepted by the general public in the United States of America and the world as a black man, even though he bleached his skin. We'll get into that part later. Now, on the other hand, Bob Marley was a resistance to the oppressive system. And that was one of the reasons why he was so popular, because it's not easy to go against the system, you know, guys. You know, something that's built for years and years and that's been controlling people. And for you to get up and revolute against the system, you know, you have to be brave, and it's commendable. So, you know, that's one of the things that people love Bob Marley for, right? Predicting future fame, right? Predicting the trajectory of fame for any artist is a challenging task, as it depends on a myriad of factors, including generational shifts, technological advancements, and evolving musical tastes. While both Michael Jackson and Bob Marley have established themselves as everlasting icons, it is possible that their fame may experience different trajectories in the next 20 years. Now, guys, what they're saying right here, it's true. You know, the kids that are being born now, or that's going to be born 10 years later, I mean, God knows what they're gonna like to listen to. Yes, there's gonna be some that like to listen to older music. You know, like myself, I like to listen to music that was way before my time, way before I was born. You know, but most people are listening to music that's current with their time. So the question is, which one of this type of music will be more will be more present in these kids' life? You never know, because these kids are gonna like to sing and dance. So yes, they're gonna like Michael Jackson, but Bob Marley also does song that has them, makes people sing and dance. But also Bob Marley does song, like I said, that's a space of revolution, or a message of revolution against an oppressive system, or a bad system. And you know what, guys? It's 2023 now, and up to this time right now, people are still being treated unfairly, in systems all over the world. So I think there's always a presence, and there'll always be a need for Bob Marley's music, just because of that. Because life is not fair, and there's always gonna be the ones that are getting the spoils and not sharing it. You know what I mean? Definitely. All right. So Michael Jackson's posthumous releases, documentaries, and the ongoing influence of his music on current artists may continue to keep him in the spotlight. However, sustaining fame for decades after an artist's passing becomes increasingly challenging as newer artists emerge and musical trends evolve, right? So they're just doubling down on what they said in another way earlier, right? Bob Marley's legacy, on the other hand, has been carefully nurtured by his family and estate, ensuring that his message of love and unity remains relevant in changing times. Reggae music's continued popularity and its connection to themes of social consciousness could play a significant role in keeping Marley's fame alive. Like I just said it a while ago. And if you look right here, this is Bob Marley's legacy, guys. Look at it. It's Bob Marley's legacy right here. This is what's his name? Kimani Marley. This is Kimani Marley. This is Skip Marley. Skip Marley is not even Bob Marley's son. That's his grandson. And this is a big artist. This is Stephen Marley, Damian Junior Gunn Marley. And I can't remember this Marley. He's very popular as well, but I can't remember his name. But if you look at it, these are about 5 of Bob Marley's seeds, directly and indirectly. That's carrying on his legacy, carrying on his name. So I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you think that impacts who's going to be more famous in the next 20 years? Let's see, right? Okay, so conclusion, right? Both Michael Jackson and Bob Marley are monumental figures in the history of music, each leaving behind a legacy that will continue to resonate for generations to come. While predicting future fame is uncertain, it is evident that their contribution to music and culture have already secured their places among the greatest icons of all time. As the years unfold, new reggae generations will discover their artistry, ensuring that their legendary status endures into the future, right? Now, the topic question, guys. There's a couple of them. There's about 6 or 7 of them. And it goes like this. Is it fair to compare Michael Jackson to Bob Marley? And the reason why I asked that question is because they're 2 different genres, and they're not the only legends. There's like other legends in music. But if you really think about it though, I mean, who is bigger than Michael Jackson and Bob Marley? Beyonce isn't bigger than Michael Jackson and Bob Marley. Taylor Swift isn't bigger than Michael Jackson and Bob Marley. Bad Bunny isn't bigger than Michael Jackson and Bob Marley. Drake isn't bigger than Bob Marley and Michael Jackson. So, I mean, guys, it's laughable when people try to compare other people in this category. These are the GOATs, guys. I mean, accept it for what it is. Okay, so the next question. Does Michael Jackson have kids to maintain his legacy? Okay, so piggybacking on what I said, that's why I asked. Michael Jackson, I think he has 2 kids, right? But I don't see them in the limelight. I don't see them doing anything. For all I know, all they're doing is probably spending his money right now. That's all I know about it. But Bob Marley has a whole family of like musicians, athletes, business people, just carrying on the legacy, right? Would Bob Marley be more or less famous in if he was still alive? That's a good question, right? If Bob Marley was still alive, would he be more or less famous? Because a lot of people, they get more famous when they're dead. And likewise, it was a case for Bob Marley. He didn't get that. He was famous, but he didn't get that famous until he actually died, right? But the question is, would he have been that famous if he was still alive to this day? Did Michael Jackson's allegations hold him back? That's a big question. Could Michael Jackson? I mean, Michael Jackson is as big as you could get. I don't know how bigger you could get, but the allegations is a big thing. When you have allegations like that around your name, that's gonna stain your legacy, and I think maybe that might affect your fame down the line, because the kids nowadays, right, that are being born right now, or that'll be born 10 years later, they're gonna see that accusation. And in this type of environment right now, with a lot of Me Too and a lot of that stuff going on, people are being more sensitive towards things, and they're not like being apologetic, victim blaming, and be apologetic to the person that's being blamed for something anymore. Now, if you get blamed for something, it sticks more than it did 10, 15 years ago. Did Michael Jackson make music that uplifts the poor and disenfranchised? Yeah, good question. I mean, I know he made a lot of happy music. He made a lot of music about love, heal the world, and stuff like that. But I don't know if he made any revolutionary music, though. Is Bob Marley's image more marketable than Michael Jackson? Now, I've been seeing a lot of big name celebrities with tattoos of Bob Marley and stuff like that. I'm sure there's other people that have tattoos of Michael Jackson, but I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any. I've seen Bob Marley on a bunch of different products. I mean, they put Bob Marley's face on everything. But Michael Jackson, I don't know if maybe that's the preference of Michael Jackson's estate not to do so. But I don't see Michael Jackson being branding anything. But Bob Marley is a brand all in itself. And that's why I think that's a good case to say that Bob Marley might be more famous come later, because he's taking advantage of the branding products, All right. Will Michael Jackson be more famous than Bob Marley in 20 years? I asked that question already. And okay, so I think I asked the same question twice. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, man, people. You know it go. All right, so we're about to get into the first call. Call us, sugle up yourself, my G. We're about to get into the first call. So give me a sec, guys. Let me play some music real quick, and I'll set up the call. All right. Say something, yo.
Hey, what's up, bro? What's up?
Okay. I just want to make sure the chat's hearing you. But it seems as if I'm seeing your volume. I can see it looks like the chat's hearing you. But chat, if you're not hearing him, just make sure you put it in the chat, all right? Because we definitely don't want to mess this one up, okay? Carlos, what go on?
Yeah, I'm doing we're taking in the live. And see expounding on the comparison between Bob Marley and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, nonetheless, they are two icons in the public eye, and we cannot dispute the fact that they have both impacted many lives globally. And I would like to think that they are both kings of their respective genres. So I mean, as I said, this is really a very interesting topic. So, I mean, as always, I will just give my 2 cents. Hopefully, the listeners in the audience will take it on. You can take it with a grain of salt, or you can either um, decide to have a discussion about it. But that's what I'm here for, just to give my opinion.
Right.
So, all right. So yeah, this topic now, Bob Marley and Michael Jackson. Um, there are two icons who have created a legacy in their respective genre. Well, Michael Jackson is for pop, and Bob Marley is for reggae music, right? And I don't. I mean, as much as I'm a Jamaican, and I would want to seem that I know more about Bob Marley. I also knew about Michael Jackson because we all grew up on listening to Michael Jackson music and all the things that he has done. And I have seen where he has done a lot in his time, and up
Right.
until this point, he's still making an impact. So, but I just let me just look at Bob Marley first. That I'm trying to lean towards one, but Bob Marley is an icon internationally, and you have seen when he just started out wearing he has like fight his way in order to gain his respect and to own the music that he's now known for. In his early stage, we have seen where Bob Marley was it wasn't an easy road for him because he grew up in a time where there was a lot of economic and social issues, and during those times, it's not like now where there technology is at access to everyone, where it could easily like like we nowadays I see that guys they're producing their own music, or what some might call it beat makers. It wasn't that for Bob Marley back in the day, so the struggles for him was different back then. And he grew up not knowing his dad, I would say, because his dad is the white man.
Yeah.
And so he had his struggles during those days. But it was seen that Bob Marley, he has an intention, he wanted to make his mark. He wanted to make an impact large on black people's lives, because as I said, during that time you could look at it more as like he was more, even though he was known for music, you could also look at Bob Marley as like more like he was like a freedom fighter, freedom for the rights of his African people, right. and to show his love for Africanism, So with all of that, he pushed himself to the highest level, and to the point where he was able to make a presence in reggae music, but Bob Marley though, during those days, as I said, it wasn't easy, because even when he became a part of the Wailers, I think I watched this documentary where they said that it wasn't easy for them like to go to a studio and to get a disc jockey to play their music. At some instance, they even have to go to the disc jockey and say, hey, you have to play my music, because we need to see your music out there played by whatever means necessary it will take for them to get their voice be heard. They try that. So Bob Marley, he was part of the Wailers, and they did it for a while, Did it for a while, and at one point in time, Bob Marley after he migrated and went back to Jamaica.
Hold on, stick up in right there. When you say by any means necessary, what do you mean by that?
Any means necessary, not necessary. It's Bob Marley during those days, they were known as rude boys. They refer to themselves as the rude boys. Right. So I'm not trying to say that they would use violence, but they probably would seek to go about getting their message being sent musically in a very undiplomatic way. So that was the mannerism that they used during those times, like to in order just to get their music heard publicly,
Right.
So
right.
they decided to take that route. It worked for them to a certain extent, But then again, it wasn't until Bob Marley decided, all right, there must be a way out, he decided to push himself, and eventually the road to Bob Marley. I don't want to go too much into history of that because I mean you already lamented on that Tristan, but I was just like it show like where Bob Marley is coming from, and like he's the person who knew what he wanted then, and he decided that he has to make a presence, you know.
Right.
All right. Similarly though, Michael Jackson, he grew up in a situation where everybody up in with his family, they have some musical talent, I would like to say, because I think they're actually practicing like from a longer time. So even when they formed the Jackson 5, and I mean, he wasn't really the only like talent amongst the Jackson 5, you know. And we are as similarly to Bob Marley, where Bob Marley never knew his dad, but Michael Jackson had a situation where he and his dad never had this very, very good relationship. But nonetheless, Bob Marley, he found his talent, and he had the backing of other great people behind him, and then that's how you get these great music like the Thrillers, and the list continues, you know. So I say this to say like they are both Bob Marley and Michael Jackson. They came up in a time where it wasn't the easiest easy for them to get access to the kind of resources that they need to push themselves, but nonetheless, because of their talent and the desire that they have to make a stamp on their respective culture, they push themselves, and that's why we're having this discussion right now, because they wanted to do good for the mass and internationally, you know. And they did a lot of things, I would say, like similarly in their different genres, because likewise Bob Marley is a person that fight for black people. He was pushing to get equal rights, pushing for to get this political differences that were going on in Jamaica at the time. And on the other hand, Michael Jackson was a kind of person. He was a great philanthropist. I mean, that guy has donated so much, so many different to different funds, you know, like people that serious like different diseases. And so he was funding those from all the revenues that he received from his music, you know. So like they can be likened in that sense, you know, based on their philanthropy and their contribution to life, and not just the contribution to music. Right. But if you look at their impact globally, you know, who would I say is the more is the name will continue to live on. I mean this is a great topic, because you know the reason why I say this, because if you look at Bob Marley's legacy and compare that to Michael Jackson's legacy, in my eyes, I like to think that Bob Marley has a legacy which is humongous as opposed to Michael Jackson, and I make that statement boldly with the ability to back whatever I'm saying, because if you look at Bob Marley is a person who, when he entered the business, at first he wasn't a Rasta. He became a Rasta at the age of 21, and that was after he returned. I think it was after he returned to Jamaica when he at the age of 21, he decided to become a Rasta. And by Bob Marley becoming a part of a Rastafarism. Rastafarism is known globally. Every young man during that time wanted to follow that movement because they wanted to associate themselves to a culture which is at the time was standing up for black people, standing up for your own, for equality, you know. Right. So during that time though, I think like Bob Marley made Rastafarism the way it is known globally. Even though other people refer to him as the founder, I mean, I don't have all the information in the world to decide if he's the founder of Rastafarism, but one thing I know that by the fact that Bob Marley is a part of a movement of Rastafarism, that is something that is globally, not just in Jamaica, even in Europe. You have a lot of Rastafarians that are living in Europe, and that is because of Bob Marley being the face of Rastafarism and the face of whatever he used to show his appreciation for Rastafarism. The world accepted, you know. So that's just one aspect of Bob Marley's his his strength in reggae music and how he has impacted life. No, if you look at the music in itself and the songs that Bob Marley sings, bro, talk about one love. You talk about like war in the east, war in the west. You talk about all these things, all the songs that Bob Marley sings. He sings from a place of spirituality.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Place of spirituality, and the fact that Bob Marley sings from a place of spirituality, he is not only referring to people who are just like in the music who want to gyre, but he tried to give support or empower those who are seeking to find to align themselves to a higher power, And I think that's one of the reasons why up until this day, whenever we talk about Rastafarianism and talk about cultural music, the name Bob Marley always gonna come to the forefront.
Right.
Because a lot of the songs that Bob Marley sings, he get his inspiration. People say he get his inspiration from the Bible. I don't know, but I mean, like he has done so much in that regard that you cannot rule out Bob Marley's impact and Rastafarianism spirituality,
Right.
All right. So I know though, if you look at his music again, the products that Bob Marley has created. If you look at you see all these towels all over the everywhere you go to Bob Marley towels. This time I go on vacation, you can't forget not getting a Bob Marley towel. Rizla of Bob Marley.
You remember Twins of Twins when Big Wayne said, "Yo, me just rinse, me cry, I want to rinse out a big Bob Marley towel."
And we all know them Bob Marley towel, them big.
Yeah.
Those Bob Marley. Yeah. Me got a Bob Marley towel the other day, just to show you. I always want a Bob Marley shirt. I remember myself growing up. I grew up, my father is a Rasta man, so I grew up always have a little Bob Marley shirt and them kind of thing out here. And thing, So it's just nice to know say Havana Bob. This one it just give us like as a boy, and I'm man seeing a Bob Marley, it just make you feel give like a Irish kind of feeling because a Bob Marley shirt me out here.
But that's what I'm saying, Carlos. Yeah. Like the branding aspect of Bob Marley is out of this world, immaculate. I don't think there's any other person, like individual, that is as branded as much as Bob Marley is, if you really think about it. Not take away music out of it. Just say the most branded person. Bob Marley is branded on almost every single product you can think of. And it's not just like Jamaica a thing alone. It's just anywhere in the world you go. But continue still.
Bro, Bob Marley brand is not as much as our Bob Marley brand is rooted in Jamaica. Globally, Bob Marley name is a brand, Cause if you go, I mean, I've never been to Europe before and thinking about. I mean, like I've seen it in the documentaries, and I've seen it like a lot of times when they have even these shows that they have in Europe. They can see a lot of people that they want to be Bob Marley, They create this image and trying to look like Bob Marley. People look at even these I think they have a Rastafari thing what them create, this wig what them create. And that is all. If you look at that wig of them little brother is based on Bob Marley. Because Bob Marley had probably, I don't want to say one of the Rasta was one of the longest dread. But I mean that dread that them create when you see everybody wear from time to time. It's based on that the word Bob Marley
right.
The way Bob Marley look. Because people are trying to personify to liken themselves to Bob Marley, sorry. So, Bob Marley globally, man. Globally, Bob Marley is huge as opposed to Michael Jackson. But don't get me wrong though. Michael Jackson have a legacy which he has created, which no one can deny that it will continue to live on for a long while. I don't know how long it will live on for, but I can guarantee you that. But you know what? No matter of fact, though, a lot of people are still trying to moonwalk. Even in Jamaica, I think we have a new Michael Jackson.
You talk about get a Michael Jackson.
We have a get a Michael Jackson in Jamaica. we create a Michael Jackson in Jamaica, of course. So that's to show you that the guy has done a lot. I must say that Michael Jackson was crowned king in the Ivory Coast, bro. And crown him king in the Ivory Coast, So And that guy that did a lot in Africa. You know, it is from Michael Jackson that you get the Usher. It's from Michael Jackson you get the Beyonce. You got the
Yeah.
Bruno Mars. All these other guys that came up, they grew up watching Bob Marley, wanting to be like Bob Marley. And I mean, and everything that, I mean, a lot of things that they do, like the movement. Like if you look at Beyonce, the way Beyonce moves and everything, and that is Bob Marley you're looking at right there, you know. Bob Marley is
Hold on. You said Beyonce. Say that. You said the way Beyonce movies, Bob Marley. You're looking at. Hold on. What you
no,
say?
sorry, Pete. Sorry, Pete, to talk about Michael Jackson. Sorry, I thought, no, I can't. No, man, we cannot. I
Okay.
mean, no, man. So that's Michael Jackson, man. You know, Michael Jackson. So the guy has done a lot, you know. I mean, as it relates to it, I don't know much about it, like what is going on for if people are still using, like how they using Bob Marley name to, like, you know, to the market, like Jamaica tourism. I don't know what they really use Michael Jackson name to marketing, apart from knowing him as the king of pop, you know. I cannot really say. Maybe there is some information out there that I don't have. I wish I had that information, but I'm almost sure that there is some form of branding that Michael Jackson name is used for. Because you know what, the one thing though, the only difference with Michael Jackson, though, Michael Jackson
Carlos,
has, go ahead, sorry.
I'm not saying that's not true, you know.
Yeah,
But the fact that you have to research to see if there's any branding with Michael Jackson's name, that tells me that there can't be that much compared to Bob Marley. Because Bob Marley's, you don't have to research it. Everywhere you go, you see it.
yep,
Everywhere you
yeah,
go, you see it. You know,
yeah,
and that, you know what, that may be his estate though. You know what, Carlos, because his estate might not want to plaster his face and his likeness over every single product in the world, you know, because they probably look at his name in a certain prestige and class to think that, oh, you know, it's watering down the brand. But I mean, I beg to differ. I think that it doesn't water down the brand. It makes the name live on. You know, that's just my opinion. But go ahead.
yeah. But the thing though, Tristan, you know, I mean, if Michael Jackson's name should be plastered on a lot of like brands and all over his world, I think if one thing that would probably give him more popularity, you know, and that his name, even though his Michael Jackson name is a household name, his name will also resonate with the younger kids, you know, because
Yeah.
I know that probably you might have something to talk about that further on, but the younger kids, they are the ones, the younger generation, they are the one who I think will decide which one of these artists will between Bob Marley and Michael Jackson will live on. You know, they will decide that, because you know the older generation will soon be gone. The kids will would say, all right, they decide that they know Bob Marley or they know Michael Jackson. They if they know Bob Marley or Michael Jackson, it all depends on word and the impact and whatever legacy and whatever is going on for them currently right now, to make them come to a conclusion to say, all right, Bob Marley is my artist or Michael Jackson is my artist, you know. So it takes a lot. That's why, I mean, branding. I don't think branding Michael Jackson's name will hurt his brand. As a matter of fact, that will make him. I don't want to make him bigger, but make him more of an household name among the youths. Because the older generation already know of Michael Jackson
See,
globally.
I think that's where a lot of people don't think about it, but they don't know that these kids nowadays, most of these kids don't care about the older music. So when you think that you're such a classy, iconic, legendary star, and you know your name resonates in this earth and it lives for itself, and you don't need to do anything extra to keep that name going, that's where you went wrong. And that's why I have to respect the Marley family and big them up for their marketing, because they are excellent at marketing.
Yeah, because I remember back in the days now when Bob Marley was doing music, you realize that, you know what, I'm tired of like going to like studios just to get like my music and record and things. So I decided to make Tough Gang. And look at Tough Gang now. Tough Gang is a brand by itself.
See,
Tough Gang all because of Bob Marley, you know. So by comparison, I try to look back at Michael Jackson, and I said, I mean, No, don't. I might be wrong, but I cannot see anything similar. There might be like something, some studio or something that is named after Michael Jackson. But I mean, like, I don't know about it. I don't know about. I
They
wish.
might name some award
Yeah.
of Michael Jackson or something like that. But look at a lot of the awards that you're seeing nowadays and a lot of things. Even some roads and streets that you see named after people right now nowadays. You don't even know those people. A lot of time they were like very famous back in the day, but you don't know them anymore. You know what I mean? Because they didn't, they probably got a street named after them or a award or something like that. But that's about it. So that's why you have to brand yourself. But all right, let me move on to the questions, Carlos. All right. So the first question: is it fair to compare Michael Jackson to Bob Marley? And the reason why I asked that is because they are both two different genre of musicians, and it seems a way kind of like unbalanced. Well, I don't want to say unbalanced, but it's like it kind of feels like matching apples with oranges a little bit. But what say you? Do you agree with that, or do you think that no, it's fair to compare them?
All right. You know what? Uh, just to start, to just answer your question, I'm gonna explain. It is fair to compare both artists, right? But I know why it is fair. I mean, they are both legends in their own right, and they have done a lot in their respective genre and for the world, and they have touched a lot of lives in terms of their philanthropic movements and their love for humanity, and the world has seen that, and because of the work that they have done, I mean, their work speaks volume to the extent wherein like we have to look at them as an icon. So, I mean, regardless of the fact that they are from two different genres, they are there. I could see the need for a comparison because the comparison is in this sense is like, man, Bob Marley is in reggae music. I mean, he has done so much to the extent where like, is there anyone in any other genre who has done equally amount of work to the point that we can compare them? Yes, we think we can compare Bob Marley and Michael Jackson. But if you look at if you should look at their achievements though, and globally, I guess that and the fact that I mean they are in different cultures. I guess some people on other hand might say no, we can't compare them because Bob Marley is this guy who is is a reggae music and he has achieved so much internationally, and he has this big branding where the world looks to Bob Marley. Whenever they are in, a lot of people are going through a lot of like struggles, like like social struggles or whatever, and they want to get like some form of therapy. They will turn to a Bob Marley song to say, all right, I need to get some healing. So in that regard, I see Bob Marley as their person who they turn to. So, and then as I said, Bob Marley have all these brand that people support. Everybody want to that you asked earlier. Everybody want to see themselves wearing a Bob Marley shirt. People want to smoke to see that they're cool just because of Bob Marley is doing it and his music and everything. So based on that, people want to like themselves to Bob Marley. But on the other hand, though, Michael Jackson is impact and the dance moves that he has created and everything and his accolades and everything as making be has made him a world star, to the extent where people also want to be like him. People want to be like Bob Marley, want to be like Michael Jackson. Sorry, even up until this day. But just to answer the question in bold, I just think that you can compare them, but at the end of the day, there's one bigger elephant in the room right now in terms of achievements, not based on Grammy's achievement, because I think in the lifetime of Michael Jackson, he probably get I think he has got like about 13 Grammys or more versus Bob Marley. I don't think Bob Marley has ever won any Grammys
Bob
during
Marley
his life,
doesn't have any Grammy.
any Grammy during his lifetime. So
Yeah.
I mean, based on that, if you're gonna compare them based on Grammys and awards, then of course Michael Jackson lead in that regard. But in terms of impact on the lives that each artist have touched, it is fair to say that Bob Marley is the bigger person.
Yeah,
But yes, they can.
I think Grammy is important, but Grammy isn't
Yes.
all because I mean, check for instance, Kabaka Pyramid recently won a Grammy. Love Kabaka Pyramid. I think he deserves the Grammy. But if you think about what's moving the needle, Kabaka Pyramid's music isn't moving the needle as compared to certain other people's music that didn't win the Grammy or didn't even get nominated. But I think he deserves to win the Grammy just because I think the content of his music is the the right type of content that we need to pay attention to, and I think that you need to. I think that that's Grammy worthy music. But if you really think about it, there's other music that's basically junk that's moving the needle a lot more than Kabaka Pyramid's music. So I think Grammy can't be the sole identifying thing to say that this person is better than this person. And before hold on one sec, Carlos.
Yeah.
Sorry. In America, the biggest musicians in the world ever since the 19th century are mostly people in the Western culture and in the Americas, right?
Yep.
Right? Now, the next biggest artist in pop compared to Michael Jackson to this date has always been a guy them call named Prince. You know Prince?
Yeah, man.
Prince. So when you think about it, who is Michael Jackson? Who is Prince? Yeah, we know Purple Rain and a couple other songs. There's like big songs. But those are mostly big songs in America. You understand? Michael Jackson is worldwide, transcend the world. So is Bob Marley. So we can't compare Michael Jackson to Prince. Because, you know what I mean, two different ball game. You know?
Yeah. I think I wouldn't compare them based on. I'm not comparing them based on genre. I'm just comparing them based on their iconic movements. You know, based on the iconic movements, you say they have achieved a lot. You know, and Bob Marley by far I think surpassed Michael Jackson. I mean, that's my opinion.
You think by far though?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of impact, you know, I think honestly, I think by far.
Hold on, Carlos. Hold on. Guys, yeah. 561-594-1015. Guys, if you disagree with Carlos, call the live. 561-594-1015. Let me know if you disagree with Carlos. He says Bob Marley is more famous and has more impact than Michael Jackson by far. The phone lines are open. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yeah, and you know what? Alright, can you have a song where I'm called Legend? You know, where him say when I say it's something you have to make your work speak for you, right? Like you must say much more than the work. The work is greater. Creation glorifies creator, you know. Much more than the work is greater. I say this for now, if you look at Bob Marley, his work speaks volume, but Bob Marley work speaks volume for him to the extent where even if Bob Marley never won a Grammy during his lifetime, based on the work that he has put in, and not just musically, but as I said, based on for culture and Rastafari, man, for Jamaica and for the world at large, to the extent that there are people actually liking themselves to Bob Marley. People liking themselves to Michael Jackson, but like you see more people internationally are like wanting to be Rastafarians. They wanted to just be like Bob Marley. Just some people just want to sing songs just to say, oh, Bob Marley, you know. So based on that, like Bob Marley, this man, it's almost like Bob Marley have a cult, bro. They almost like have a cult. People will more like try to dance like Michael Jackson to dance. I guess it's just a dance that the most things people try to like themselves to Michael Jackson. Correct me if I might be wrong, but people just want to dance like Michael Jackson. If you look at like the Bruno Mars, the Usher and everything, I don't like them to sing like Michael Jackson. They try at the dance move them get from Michael Jackson. But you see many more snips of things that are taken from Bob Marley, bro, versus a Michael Jackson, bro. So wow. in that regard, I said there's no apology that Bob Marley is the bigger person.
All right. Yeah. Hear him said it. And I just want people to know that I am not, in no way trying to be biased here. I'm just basically putting it out there for you guys to answer. I want to hear you guys' opinions and everything like that. So definitely big up everybody on the chat. Big up Anika. Big up Andy Smith. Big up First Millennial Entertainment. Big up Musain 257. Big up so Musain 257 says Michael Jackson is better. So that's what I'm saying, guys. And these questions, I ask these questions with the most objective way possible. Guys, I know, yes, I'm Jamaican and Bob Marley's Jamaican, and a lot of people would probably be like, "Oh, you're Jamaican, but you think like that." But if you think something different and you can prove it, call in. The number is 561-594-1015. I want to hear your view. I want to hear why Michael Jackson is better than Bob Marley and is more famous and will be more famous in the next 20 years. All right, Carlos, the next question. Does Michael Jackson have kids to maintain his legacy? Or does it matter? Do you need to have kids to maintain your legacy?
All right, you see, like what I said earlier, the creation glorify the creator, right? So if you put in the work are going to speak volume for you, right? So just if there's no kids involved in this discussion right now about artists, I mean they are great in their own rights, but I know a lot of Bob Marley's kids, right? I know of Michael Jackson kids, right? But I like to think that the world, I mean, it's like a rhetorical question, Tristan, to be honest, because the amount of kids that Bob Marley have, almost all his kids are musicians, and they are doing well internationally. A lot of people will say they are doing well because of the Bob Marley factor, but they have put in their work and they have achieved a lot. So in that regard,
a little nepotence does not hurt,
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean. The fact that they're Bob Marley kids, that will definitely work out for them. Like, why? I mean, they are his biological kids.
But they're talented, though, because if they were trash, people would have laughed at them and say, yo, they're trash, you need to do. Because Bob Marley has other kids that don't do music at all. Like Ron Marley, he's a businessman. He doesn't do music.
Yeah, but I remember the first time when I heard Junior Gang, like about early 2000, I was like, this kid, man, is very talented. I listened to his entire... I think you have an album. The album was what was the name? Halfway Tree or something like that. I think it was Halfway Tree.
Yeah, Halfway Tree.
Yeah, Halfway Tree album, and like that was a classic album. Bro.
Classic.
Classic album.
Yeah,
classic. Yeah, and like as a matter, he was one of them. He reminds me of Bob. Even though Bob, like me only grew up here about Bob Marley. So when born Bob Marley dead already. Me wish me when I grew up, I actually think Bob Marley was alive. I'm not like. I think Bob Marley was alive. I think Bob Marley was alive. I'm not sure Bob Marley dead. That's a joke thing to that. That's for sure, Because I remember you get up and when you grow up on Irish and you're one love and all that.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, and them thing that we are here, You're not coming from, and of course, like me, Michael Jackson, especially in 2000, Michael Jackson had a song called Speechless, bro. That was a smash hit.
That was a smash hit, yeah.
That was a song with the repeat. And in 2000, every other song there, brother. Michael Jackson is a legend. Like, no, I'm not trying to take anything away from Michael Jackson. And this is not because of my Jamaican. It has nothing to do with that, It's just based on what I've seen. It's my opinion, And I mean, I wish I could have like somebody who could discuss it still, but I mean, like I don't. Yeah, honestly, I wish it.
Musain 257, you got the number 561-594-1015. Call in, let us know why Michael Jackson is better. Carlos, next question.
Yeah.
Would Bob Marley be more or less famous if he was still alive?
All right. Interesting, because if you're doing the time that Bob Marley rose to fame. I think at the time, that would by any means necessary he would have get his exposure in music because they needed somebody at the time to represent them because of the social and economic issues that Jamaica were facing at the time. They needed somebody who to come with that kind of music who were seen as though they're defender, So at the time he was relevant, and that's why he has gained the respect that he has now. But if Bob Marley should have been around now, and this is the time that he was supposed to get his exposure, I think he would have more competition, And the topic is a lot more different, The topic is a lot more different to the point where the topic is a lot more different. So you would like to think that maybe him singing about like freedom fight and thing, maybe that will be the topic of now, because at the end of the day you have other competition right now you must face off with. So the fact that you have more competition and other artists are doing they're doing really well as well. So I don't think he will necessarily have the same power that he have now if he was supposed to get his exposure now as opposed to then. Because I mean the topic is just different now. He has a topic and a message and a purpose then.
What's crazy? One of the topics on the live a few weeks ago, myself and Ali, we were talking about the artists and the artists being signed by these big record labels, and how for example, when you look at an artist like Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, or if you look at Pop Smoke, rest in peace, when those guys died, their records sold a lot more, and their presence was a lot more prevalent in media altogether than they were alive. So the conclusion was that most of these artists are worth more dead than alive, and I'm afraid that could be the case with Bob Marley as well.
Yeah, because I think that almost immortalized him. I like to think it make him name live on forever. Make Bob Marley name live on forever though. But and you cannot take anything away from that. But I just think that it's based on what was going on back then, Tristan. The social unrest and political issues that we're facing. They needed a Bob Marley, but they needed somebody to balance the equation, and that's why at the time you have to find Bob Marley. He was the one who in get Siaga and Manley to come on stage because he must have to try to get them to be peaceful, to get have like a peace treaty amongst them. So they needed somebody in music like that. Even though you have the Bunny Wheelers and all them other guys they were around at the time, it wasn't just Bob Marley alone. But I mean they needed that person to represent them. So at the time, during that time, it was relevant. And I'm not saying like we don't need people to represent like people that are going through social unrest and political issues right now. But no, you tend to find that the topic of the day is not so much about social unrest and freedom and things. It's different now. People need more peace of mind. People need to hear more about like things that can uplift them mentally, that can help them to achieve things, No, if Bob Marley was, if he should be around and he's singing about like some of the current topics or current issues that we're facing now, in his same little way, I think there will be a piece for him in music, but trust me, the competition would be very strong for him, to the extent that I don't know if he would necessarily be the person he is as opposed to them.
So Musain 257 said, Anika, I guess that person was replying to Anika saying almost every artist in the early 2000s wanted to imitate Michael Jackson. What say you, Carlos?
I mean, yeah, every artist in the early 2000s wanted. I mean, when I say every artist, you mean every artist international, or every artist in pop, or every artist in the USA. I mean, every artist like I mean, yes, artists that want to be like Michael Jackson, because he was relevant at the time, and if you think about it, whoever is relevant at the time, people are always gonna want to try to replicate them because they want to.
Chris Brown, Justin Timberlake, Usher, Jason Derulo, all MJ copies.
Yeah, they want to replicate him because I say he was relevant at the time. So so he was relevant within that era. Can't take anything away from that. But the discussion we're having about is the longevity of the that was it. That at the time a lot of people tried to replicate him, and people are still trying to replicate Michael Jackson. Don't get me wrong, but to what extent though? I'm not sure if that we will see that continuing for years to come. Given the fact
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, given the fact that I mean, we live in a dynamic society where we're still to have a lot of cultural erasures, and a lot of different traits are being tapped into the culture. So people want to try different things. That a man might not necessarily want to say, all right, I want to be like Michael Jackson. I even want to be like a Bob Marley, But I guess time will tell though. No?
Bob Marley has a lot of, I don't want to call them copies because I respect these artists and I don't think they're trying to copy Bob Marley. But Bob Marley has influenced a lot of artists just the same, like Michael Jackson. They're just in a different genre. So, that has a smaller fan base compared to the pop genre. So, those guys aren't that big. Like when you look at a guy like Chronix, like you can see Bob Marley all over Chronix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but of course, Bob Marley. I mean, brother, every Rastafari, brother, who came after Bob Marley, they are inspired by Bob Marley.
Right.
Even if they say otherwise, I think they were inspired by Bob Marley. All of them were inspired by Bob Marley, brother, and that's the reason why you tend to have this continuity of Rastafaris in reggae culture. That's why, because think about it, it is Bob Marley. Why? It's because of Bob Marley and his Rastafarism, right? What every other Rastafari wanting to be a reggae artist.
Right.
So they are being a subset of what Bob Marley has done. And you're going to start continuing for years. Because, I mean, as you say, you have set a legacy and you have stamp a mark on reggae culture and way of life and things. But no one can deny that, I mean, this will continue for decades to come. I can see this continuing for decades. I mean, at least I don't see anything that is currently trying to erase that culture. People are still trying to be Rasta. Even right now, like youths, like even in America, right, bro, like a lot of youth is growing them here and things. It's just like even though they're not necessarily like growing their hair like Rastas, brother, but like it's like they're trying to replicate the image, If you ever look at Jay-Z is still trying to become a Rasta, That's what I'm thinking. I think it seems like it's.
Yes, somebody commented that earlier. They said Jay-Z is something like that, trying to be like Bob.
Yeah, man, he's trying to look your Rasta, just like Bob Marley. Cause I'm sitting here wondering, Jay-Z get him Rasta to look like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you can see, like he's inspired, He's inspired, Like you don't see nobody trying to like. I mean, nobody not trying to get them here like I said. Them trying to like a Bob Michael Jackson here right now. I mean, apart from get them, apart from get Michael Jackson, then if you have nobody else, then say Michael Jackson. Maybe you might have some copycat Michael Jackson. But yeah, I mean, they have done a lot respectively to what you stand. Don't get me wrong. Not taking a thing away from Michael Jackson. Yeah, near a man saying love, but him love Michael Jackson up to the ground when he walk on, popular artist for that, I mean, yeah, there's a reason why he says that, bro.
Who said that?
Eh?
Who said that?
I believe it was a Vibes Cartoon Music or something like that. He said, I love Michael Jackson up to the ground when he walk.
Teach, I love Michael Jackson. Remember I said, Vibes Cartoon, they said, me, Michael, Cake Soap, Jackson.
Jackson. But you know what though, you see, one thing though, I forgot to say still, I'm thinking I was saying, I think I would like to think that Michael Jackson has more controversy around him versus Bob Marley, more controversy.
All right, stick up in right there. Yeah. So going into that chat, so Sandy Gray said, however, Michael Jackson will always have a stain on his memory from the legal issues he faced, and Bob Marley will always have a legacy of being positive, being the positive face of a genre, religion, and culture. No, that was my next question, Carlos. Did Michael Jackson's allegations hold him back?
All right, like in this world, brother, once you get yourself involved in any form of legal hold, it will definitely have an impact on your life. Because and it's worse if the people look up to you as an icon or they look up to you as your role model. In Michael Jackson's case, sorry, I'll keep saying Bob Marley. There's no bias here. In Michael Jackson's case, that definitely has an impact on his life.
Right.
And it has an impact on his life, not just legally, but it has an impact on his life mentally as well, to the extent where it leads to it impacted his health as well. Because I mean, I think he was worrying about those things, and that also to tear him down. But you know what? The same fans though, because of their love for Michael Jackson, And it don't matter what a artist do, bro, in some people's eyes. You must say he has gone through those legal roads before, and he he might get off of them scotch free because they found him not guilty.
Right.
You know? So but the thing though, even though they found Michael Jackson not guilty for all those accusations, or what you want to call it, I would like to think that it's staying in name, especially when it has to do with like things of that nature, bro. It will stay in the name, and like people start to look at Michael Jackson different because they can't believe this is the guy who they look up to, who actually get himself involved in those kind of predicament, you know. So yes, it affects him.
Personally, I think that if Michael Jackson didn't die, they would have tried to find some way to take him down like R. Kelly. Not to say that R. Kelly didn't do what he did now, you know what I mean? But I think that Michael Jackson had enemies, man. Michael Jackson had enemies. And if he never died, I think that stain of that allegation that lived on his name for that long would have kept coming back and back and back again. I just think so.
For sure, that will definitely that would have definitely be a issue for Michael Jackson if he was supposed to be around. But you know, but Michael Jackson, I mean, Bob Marley has his own issues too, you know, in Rochester. He has his own issues to the extent. I think, Bob Marley was really no saint, but I don't want to like to put any accusations on Bob Marley. He was no saint.
The most you hear about Bob Marley is that he was a womanizer. He liked to have a lot of women.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why he have so many kids. But you never hear anything about Bob Marley like that's crazy in the media like that, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know. I mean, yeah, true, you don't hear the legal thing about. I mean, I guess it's a contact the great Bunny Wailer back then. Bunny Wailer have a different. He have some things I said about Bob Marley. I listed Bunny Wailer in some interview. Like, I mean, no, sorry, it wasn't Bunny Wailer. It was Peter Tosh. Did an interview following Bob Marley's death, and that guy said one of the worst things I ever heard anyone said. Like the man said, like at least him dead now, so me can get my place. Like I can never believe that like somebody actually said something like that, you know. So, I mean, I guess that sounds like a more personal issue though. But you're right,
it does sound personal, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We don't know about the real legal issues of Bob Marley getting telephone. I know he got shot. Yeah, and that was more political affiliated though, you know, where he got shot. And I think after Bob Marley got shot, he migrated to England, and then to show you how Bob Marley was like, in decided he now give up on the people. Because when Bob Marley got shot, he migrated in 1976, and then he go back to Jamaica in 1978 because instead of continue in working people them, because I mean he have a purpose and he want to fulfill a journey there, you know. So right. Yeah, so Bob Marley like, yeah, bro, but it is clear that Bob Marley is a bigger elephant in the room. You know, it's just, and if you want to continue this discussion another time, or you have a part 2 to it, trust me, I'll certainly entertain the discussion, because I know a lot of people out there will think that whatever I'm saying is maybe they don't believe in that, but I mean, your opinion, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely. If it's requested by popular demand, I will definitely do a part 2, so that whoever wants to say their piece can call in and say their piece. Or they could call in right now at 561-594-1015. Guys, remember to like the live. Remember to comment. Remember to share to somebody that you think might be interested in it. Guys, liking the live is very, 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 very important. You know why? Because it tells the algorithm that, hey, there's an event going on over here. There's people here actively watching something and participating, and then it lowers. It's like walking past a business establishment and you hear music playing over there, and you're like, oh, I don't have anything doing. Why don't I just go walk in and buy a beer and just see what's going on? You know, so liking the live is basically turning up the music. So if you can, guys, hit the like button real quick. All right, Carlos, next question. Did Michael Jackson make music that uplifts the poor and disenfranchised?
All right. You see, a very good question, Chester. But you know, all right. I did in comparison to Bob Marley, right? Are you just want to just find out if Michael Jackson in general make
no,
music?
just in general. We know he made Made heal the world, make it a better place. You know that type of stuff. But did Michael Jackson make any music that's revolutionary?
I mean, the song that you mentioned a while ago, "Heal the World." I mean, make it a better place. I mean, that's a message that is asking for togetherness, for peace, for oneness, and for love. You know, so I mean, if it's that song that you can use, I can use that song as an example to say it's one of those that I can refer to as Bob Marley. I'm sorry, Michael Jackson means of trying to heal the world, you know. But on a larger scale, though, it's hard for me to pinpoint a lot of songs to say that Michael Jackson did to um, to send forth peace and love and all that. I can't really find a lot of those songs, honestly. I mean, maybe a more avid listeners of Michael Jackson can tell, but I can't really tell about any of those songs as compared to a Bob Marley, which there's a complete catalog of songs out there which people can refer to, like say, these songs heal the nation, it heal people, it take them out of them as people that are going through like a state of mind which is like they needed to get peace, they need to get happiness, they need to get feel like they can achieve a task, they need to feel like they just want to get some things done. Bob Marley is that person. Michael Jackson and other, and I cannot really pinpoint a lot of songs. I mean, I might be wrong. I might need to do some more research, but I can't really think of a lot of those. Just to answer your questions.
You know what? And I think about it. Michael Jackson did do revolutionary songs, but not a lot. I think I can remember one. Um, it's more like world songs, just like kind of highlighting, the people that are suffering in Africa and the starving
People,
and stuff like that. Yeah, I
yeah.
did see songs like that with Michael Jackson, to be quite honest. So he did make some revolutionary music. I don't know if it's to the extent of Bob Marley.
But one thing though, just like as I said, I'm not going to take away from Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson might not do a lot of revolutionary songs, but that guy is a philanthropist, bro.
Yes, yes.
Philanthropist that he has done a lot globally in Africa, in Asia, in America, internationally. He has helped a lot of
Yeah.
people that are going through some situations. And I want that man donated so much, even during the 2011 attack. He played his role during that time as well by just performing, and like the proceeds go towards the victims, So
Right.
he has done a lot. So and you might have not have the songs that you can identify to say that he revolutionized the world, but he has touched a lot of lives with his the support, Because a lot of the time a man he has power, and he has the ability to do it. So his music might not be the vessel that he used to touch lives, but I mean whatever he can contribute to people. I mean with his finance, he has done that, Has done that. So
So
kudos to him for that too.
okay, so let me ask you one question, because I think Anika wants to join the call as well, right? So let me
Yes,
ask you this one last question, and then we'll
yes,
play like a one music, and then we get Anika on the call. Let's hear what she has to say, right?
yes,
Question, right?
yes.
You go into a gift store, let's say anywhere in the world, nothing, nowhere specific, right? You see a mug with Bob Marley's face on it, and right beside it, you see another mug with um, Michael Jackson's face on it. Which one of those mugs you think is gonna sell the most?
I like it. You know what? Which I think is going to sell the most. It all depends. It all depends on the geographic location. So if Bob Marley and the Michael Jackson mug is like probably there in some other, like in America, for example, like in some state which is like people have a more preference for Michael Jackson within those states, and and a lot of people don't go there for tourism purpose. Then of course I like to think Michael Jackson will sell more. But though, if you should ask me like if you talk about this like Europe or like globally, like people who know of Bob Marley, they will 100% go for Bob Marley's mug. versus a Michael Jackson's mug, because as I said, people want to associate themselves with Bob Marley. They want to feel like, hey, me having this mug, I have one of the great neat mugs mug in my house, and you can always look at it. You know, so of course, I think it will be a Bob Marley mug that they will choose, and it is based on the geographic location.
So, are you saying that the only place? Are you saying that the only place that the mug will probably sell more, and maybe is in the United States, and then everywhere else in the world, Bob Marley's mug will sell more?
No, don't get me wrong. I said certain places in the United States, not the United States entirely. I said like certain geographic location.
Oh,
because I think,
okay.
Because it's just like some people they love Michael Jackson, you know, Tristan.
Yes.
Michael Jackson is their guy, you know. So like no matter what I go, no matter if the world know Bob Marley, Michael Jackson mug them go buy.
Right,
you know?
right.
But as I said today, you always go Europe. You still might have a lot of people buying Michael Jackson, but you know, as I said, the majority, I think, will go for Bob Marley's mug. That's just how I think still.
So, what do you think? All right, if you should combine North America, South America, all of Europe, all of Asia, all of Africa, everywhere in the world, where do you got a big name store? You know, let's say you have this big name store and it's everywhere, all the big cities in the world. And you have Bob Marley t-shirt, I have a Michael Jackson t-shirt right next to it in the store. Which one of them you think will sell more?
It's definitely a Bob Marley t-shirt that will sell more.
So Bob Marley is more popular then?
More famous? Yeah, Bob Marley t-shirt that will sell more. If a way basis a person we have Bob Marley, sometimes you want to wear them people find Bob Marley shirt that wear, you know. People wear Bob Marley shirt, like, not to mention the towel them, you know.
Let's say a big Bob Marley towel.
Come on, a big way I want.
Yo, but someone just come from the funeral, a big Bob Marley towel. Yo, big way wicked. Yo. Oh my God. Yo, Carlos, man, listen. Man. As usual, bro, it was a pleasure speaking with you, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this call, so I'll try to get Anika on and possibly Ali. I know we're running close to 8, but you know, I'll run it over just a little bit if I have to, just because we had such a late start, you know, but not too much, you know what I mean? All right, so hey, Carlos, big up yourself, Bridgin. You know what I mean? We'll move on to the next call, all right? Everybody make some noise for Carlos. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good call. All right, people. All right, people. All right, people. So, all right, so let me play some music real quick, guys, right? And let's get the other call in the meantime while the music plays. All right? Cool? CJ Facey, big up yourself. Big up everybody on the live. Anika, get ready. Jacqueline Spit, big up, big up, big up.
Hello?
Anika! Everybody make some noise for Anika! Yeah!
Hey, Tristan. Hey, everybody.
What up? Wagwan.
I'm here. Oh my gosh, I made it back home in time for the live.
Which is right, which is right, which is right. No, I mean,
Yeah.
thank you for making it. Thank you for making it.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. People like the live and share it because I see how many persons on the live now, and I only see two likes. I'm out here watching it, so I'll go over there and like and share,
Guys,
so that we can have more listeners
oh my God,
and
guys,
more
I can't
subscribers.
believe it. Guys,
Yeah.
guys, don't play with me, guys. I can't believe so much of you are on the live right now and you're not liking it.
Yes, please
Come on,
like and
guys. Just
share
hit.
it so we can
All you
have
have to
more
do is hit the like
listeners.
button. That's it. It's so easy. Just
That's
hit the like
all.
button.
So easy. Just put the X at the top if you're on your phone and go like the. I want to see the like button being smashed.
Come
Okay.
on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button
Yeah.
and give yourself a round of applause, guys. God,
Absolutely.
no,
Yeah.
God, no.
So very
So,
interesting topic this
yes.
week, Tristan.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. All right. So we're talking about Michael Jackson and Bob Marley and who's more impactful. I would have to say before I make a decision on who I think is most impactful, we have to give both these icons their flowers. They've both been doing well. Both are dead now, so they did their thing in the past of two black persons being so iconic, being so loved by all people of all nation worldwide, of all color, class, race, no matter what it is. Um, because of the type of music that they do, they are loved by all of these people all over the world. We're not going to take that from them. We're not trying to tear them down when we're trying to compare them. We're just trying to compare them based on, I would say, based on how influential they are, which they are both influential. But without further ado, let's look at Michael Jackson first. Tristan, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
You
you. Go
are?
ahead.
Okay. All right, because I have my headset in. So, yeah, I'm going to look at Michael Jackson first. So, Michael Jackson is loved. He has done songs like Thriller, We Are the World. I think one of my graduation, I think we marched to We Are the World, right? So when we look at songs like that, those are songs that not really Thriller, but like We Are the World. Those are songs that brings people together, no matter what race them be or what color. It's one of those songs that make people feel, like they belong,
Yes.
feel like they've overcome, feel like they, no matter what they've been through, they we are all one. Like our Jamaica matter, we're all one out of many one people, right?
Touch your soul.
Um, touch your soul, right? And no matter what kind of feeling you might have towards your neighbor or whomever it is, a song like that will make your whole, you probably change your mind, like your neighbor, right?
Right.
So, like with songs like those that are so impactful, we all know that as a result of that, Michael Jackson is influential. He's an icon because of songs like that. With Bob Marley now, Bob Marley, he literally, culturally, Rastafarism, I hope I pronounced it correctly, a Bob Marley. Bob Marley drives the force with that. And I'm not just talking about Jamaica and a whole. I'm talking about the world. We are talking about Europe. We are talking about the Chinese. You ever see a Chinese Rasta yet? We are
Yes,
talking
man.
about them. We're talking about like that. That's how impactful and influential Bob Marley is. This is not just because of the music, right? This
Right.
is because of a way of life. When we talk about a way of life, the way how you dress, the marijuana or the weed we smoke,
Right.
the nappy hair, the dreads. Remember, rest of people go through a lot of Jamaica, with
Talk about
what do you
it.
call it? Coral, what do you call it? Coral Garden. Remember the time with the rest of people then when Busta Man did that try get rid of the rest of them? I hope may I quote that wrong. But yeah.
Coral Gardens.
Movements
Yeah.
like
The
those. Yes,
massacre.
Coral Garden. Yes, Coral Garden, the massacre. It's things like that, right? it was like a whole movement, and not just Jamaica, but worldwide. Right now, we have some people at Europe. We swear them on Bob Marley.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like they swear they're Bob Marley. Look at who won the Grammy before Kabaka Premier the year
Yeah,
before.
which that
Those
was
were
a
white.
big uproar, right? Remember that was a
It
big
was
uproar.
yeah, it was a big uproar because if some white people were imitate the Bob Marley or the rest of people that with here will look nappy. That one a reggae album. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when you talk about influential, we're talking about that. We are talking about when people want to be like you. That we are talking about. Yes, we have people out there that wants to be like a Michael Jackson, but it's very
Right.
far and few. You know what I mean? Because in order to look like a Michael Jackson, first they will have to bleach. They will have to change the color of skin. People not talk about that. You see, normal people are walk around here with their skin bleach out and are walking a Michael Jackson hat and socks up at their knee and tight pants. No. So when we are talking about, if we're not saying not influential, and we're not saying not playing part and doing work, but looking at, like as a person, like me, my daughter, my godson Zane, like when I'm first first artist we recognized was Bob Marley. That was one of his first artists that he recognized was Bob Marley.
Yeah.
The dreads, everything about that's Bob Marley. You know what I
Yeah.
see? Like so when I talk about like influential, this is one of the reasons why I think Bob Marley is way more influential than Michael Jackson. Just because of like the fact that he wasn't here. So like look how like, Bob Marley died way before, like as Carlos had said earlier, I didn't even know when I was younger, I didn't even know Bob Marley had passed away just because people had talked about Bob Marley as if he's alive.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that.
as if he's alive. Like when we had those when you're a kid, you hear people talk about Bob Marley. You swear he's still alive because people talk about him in the present tense.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that,
Yeah.
in the present tense. So and then Michael Jackson, he's been around, he's influential, but then with the fact that he has been through what he has been through, the whole allegations and all of those things put a damper on your name. Those things put a damper on your brand. So things that, and if probably if Michael Jackson, you said it, like if he was still alive today, I kid you not, he would have probably been one of the same case like Bill Cosby, or one of the same case as
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
true.
think so because they were coming after him 100 miles per hour. You know,
Of
when he was
course.
alive, I remember that they were coming after him, and the guy the little boys that they claimed that he touched
Of
and stuff
course.
like that were grown up and they were coming out doing documentaries. I think they're probably still doing documentaries right now, even though Michael Jackson is dead. So
Yeah.
even when he's dead, he's still gonna these allegations are gonna still come back. You know, so
Right.
this is staying in his legacy. This is so his legacy is
Absolutely.
being continued with a blemish, while while Bob
Right.
Marley's legacy is being continued with all positive news. But check this out. Let me read a couple chats and I have a question, right?
Oh yeah, go
So
ahead. Of
CJ
course.
Facey said, I think Bob legend becomes bigger each decade. Michael
Mm-hmm.
haven't gotten any bigger in the last decade. What say you, Anika?
I agree, and that's where I was going at, because that's why I mentioned my godson, right? Because I'm talking about generation right now. When I'm talking about the generation, like generation to come. I think that Bob Marley is only going to get bigger generation to come, just because we see people nowadays in the workplace. Remember working at the days in the workplace, person could wear dress to go work, Like you couldn't wear dread going to the office, like certain
Yes.
office. You probably still can't do that today, right?
And that was in our lifetime.
Right. And we look at time changing now. We have people with that here can work in a certain go work in a certain corporate space. They
Exactly.
can. We have people back in I must say only Jamaica alone, and even still, like in our politics, Jamaica back in at one point in time. What is happening with these kids? I need to move from here. Fireworks. But yeah, back in the days, as I said before, you couldn't go in a certain corporate area. You couldn't go in there with dreads. You see that changing
Right.
drastically. In the school, you see people can back in it when I went to high school, kids couldn't wear like them dreads come school. They must go cut them dreads. You see, kids can do that now. There's still like a fight for it, like in Jamaica, in some areas. But I do see kids being able to go to school with their hair in the dreads, which that is coming from the Bob Marley. You see, even in the parliament of Jamaica, you have Rasta in there. At one point in time, you couldn't get a Rasta in the parliament of Jamaica. So it's
Yeah.
just showing how, and these are things, these are contributing from a person like Bob Marley. So you see where you see where his way of life is growing. Look at marijuana. Look at him fight for like having marijuana being legalized and all of that stuff. And look at what it is now. It's not fully legalized
Exactly.
in everywhere, but it is literally gradually becoming legalized.
What did
So
exactly what did Michael Jackson do to change the
right,
culture? Like Bob Marley
right,
literally put marijuana on his back
and
and run
yeah,
with it. And he was one of the
right.
biggest reasons why it's legal
It,
recreationally or medicinally up to this day because of his
right.
influence. Not him single-handedly, but he was a big
Hmm.
part of it.
She was a big part of the movement, right?
Yeah.
Because even his photo with that big spliff in her mouth, if y'all don't know what that is, marijuana, but the blunt, whatever that is in her mouth, that's like it's like utilized as a tourism moniker. You know what I mean?
Right.
So so this is why I'm leaning more towards a Bob Marley being more influential because of things like that. The fact that that like instead of instead of him being dead and his whole thing being, put a damp on, it's like literally growing, and that is as a result of his influence towards certain things. I'm not gonna say he pushed everything to the forefront, but he was a big part in the movement for most of those stuff. When I talk about the Bob Marley, every time I go to Jamaica, I have to buy something with Bob Marley for myself, my baby, for everybody, with towel, everything.
A Bob
Like when I
Marley
go to
towel.
Jamaica, everything, yeah, sure, it will come back up in our Bob Marley, everything. So yeah, let's talk about that as well. Like when we are talk about influence, we should talk also about the money. Because that as well, yeah, when you have to put it on paper, like you have to look at that as well. And like maybe because Michael Jackson people them did do the estate. I don't know if as a result of that they couldn't do a lot of marketing as it pertains to like his things, his face, his whatever. Maybe. But I don't know. I don't have facts on that. But when you look at things like that as it pertains to like the marketing and everything, you can put more. Right now, I can't go on Etsy. I should do that. But no, I shouldn't. We can go on Etsy and go create something with Bob Marley, and by the time tomorrow morning, we create them now, and by the time tomorrow morning, them finish.
But you know
Sold
what?
out.
You know what? The Jackson family has a big legacy, right? In and of
They
itself,
do.
right? But you
Yeah.
don't see any of the. It was like 5, 6 of them, right? And none of
Mm-hmm.
them. I don't see none of them with kids that are
Carrying
carrying
on the
on the
name.
Jackson legacy as Bob Marley's kids are doing. So I think that's a big part of the marketing and why and what will be determined. What will determine who is more famous when it's all said
Mm-hmm.
and done.
It is, right? And then also not to cut you, but in the chat, someone had had said, I was jokingly saying that look at Jay-Z, he's literally trying to replicate Bob Marley, which he is.
Yeah.
Even the blind can see that he's trying to literally replicate because he knows how big and how diverse Bob Marley is, right? And he considers himself maybe not as big as Michael Jackson, but he has his goals that he's trying to attain,
Right.
and while he's still alive. And maybe one of those goals is also to dethrone the great Michael Jackson, to dethrone the great Bob Marley, or to be the next Bob Marley, or to be considered as close to as the next Bob
Are
Marley,
rubbing shoulders in that realm.
rubbing shoulders in that
Yeah.
realm, exactly. So having an image like that, remember, Bob Marley's image is like one of a kind, right? We have other replicas of Bob Marley in our genre, but nobody has reached to that pinnacle yet. Jay-Z is up there, right, with his money. So why not try to replicate the next great?
Right.
Right? So I feel like that's my opinion, that he's leaning towards that side. That's he's great in his life. However, he sees something that a Jamaican, maybe a man from Jamaica was so little, and all of a sudden him just becomes this big household name or whatever, and that's something that nobody else is has mastered or has gained that recognition. But he's already in that light. So why not have another somebody that can replicate a Bob Marley and become as big as a Bob Marley? So I feel like that's where he's leaning towards. The nappy, the dread look just like a Bob Marley. I don't know how he get it like that, but it looks just the same. And yeah, that's literally like I'm leaning more towards Bob Marley being way more influential, way more long lasting, way more a household name, even to our generation to come. Michael Jackson, somebody had mentioned in the chat that look at Michael Jackson, the entire 2000 was what's the word? Was replicated. The artist was replicated, Michael Jackson. So I was about to write in the chat, well, operative word, 2000s. I was going to be like, operative word, you just shot yourself in the foot because you just highlighted the 2000s. We're talking about years of Bob Marley. We're just referring to just the 2000s. We're talking about constant growth up until this day. People are replicating a Bob Marley.
Right.
Every year in that, right. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No, I was gonna read a chat. Deidre Daly said Bob Marley start getting kids from early, so Bob Marley had a head start. You know, Bob Marley had Stephen Marley opening up concerts for him. Remember that? Hold on, Stephen Marley and Ziggy Marley is the same person. Hold on, is Stephen Marley Ziggy Marley? I know I'm gonna lose my Jamaican card right now, but
I'm probably gonna lose it because sometimes I mix them up. I swear,
I think they're two different. But that goes to show the amount of kids and grandkids that Bob Marley has. You know,
and probably not even get. It probably not even know somebody because every minute out of nowhere you see somebody comes to the near Marley.
Right, exactly, and like the Marley estate is worth millions of dollars. Huge. They have Marley coffee.
Yep.
You know, Marley, this Marley, that Marley shirt, Marley shoes, all kind of things. You know what I mean? Like
Marley, everything you can think of.
Their marketing is crazy. All right, let me read a couple more chats because the chat's going crazy right now. Let me read a couple more chats and I'm gonna ask you the rest of the question. All right, let me read a couple chats. So CJ Facey, Sandy Gray said, let me pin it. Sandy Gray said, agree. We are the world and one love are songs that make us forget differences if it's even for just a few minutes. Right? You did bring that up, right, Anika, earlier when you said we are the world and everything like that.
Right.
All right, next chat. So CJ Facey said, the government recently said something to the extent of allowing dreads to be in schools freely for the new school term. Okay, so
really?
That's interesting fact. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that, CJ. That's good. You know, we want to see more of that, you know. And then CJ Facey also said 3T was a great group, man. I think he was probably trying to say the Jackson 5 was a great group.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Jackson. Okay, so he said Jackson. Oh, he said 3T. It was Jackson's second generation was 3T. Apparently they're popular, but I don't know them. I don't know them. Yeah, I don't know them. Let's see what the next comment is. Factify World Forum. Bob Marley legacy will continue to live on. Michael Jackson is dying. Hold on, let me read that again. Bob Marley's legacy will continue to live on. Michael Jackson is dying out of a lot of young generation don't even recognize Michael Jackson. But everybody knows that man with the big spliff in his mouth, though.
Everybody. Well, yeah. Yeah, good feedback, chat. Good feedback. But yeah, like literally, I'm leaning more to, and this is not because I'm Jamaican or anything. Like, take us away from everything. I am just you. I'm just looking at growth over the next couple years when our younger generation come up and like yes, moonwalk is a thing, but I feel like just the way of life of a Rastafari is like way more. Like I see that way more down the line, just because these young generation of kids are more explorate, like they explore more, right? Like their parents allow them to explore more. So before they reach certain age, they already are Rasta, even though they don't even know so them are Rasta, just by having the dreads, right? And that's you know what I mean? Like they literally have like even in Nigeria, like every little pitney nowadays, they see them have them here well lock up and not up like from them young. So like it's just like things like that. Like you're taking things from the great Bob himself. So that, to me, that shows influence and that shows continuum over the generation. And with Michael Jackson, yes, he's great. He's done his part. He's done his share, but he is, I think, slowly his thing is gonna slowly die out, especially with this whole heap of allegation. We read more. This generation, we pay attention to these things a little bit more than maybe back in the day. So little more you go here say, we don't have nothing to do with this man, him do this, him do that, whatever. Whereas Bob Marley literally have a clean slate. Like there has been nothing that has been tarnishing to his name as opposed to Michael Jackson. So
guys, remember, if you disagree with Anika, call the number. The phone lines are open. 561-594-1015. If you think that we're all Jamaicans here and we're biased and you need to call in and set the record straight about Michael Jackson being the best of the best over Bob Marley, call in at 561-594-1015. Let me read another chat, Anika, and then I'll ask you this next question. So first Millennial Entertainment says, remember Bob Marley, a man who get all two pitney in a 1 year.
Man, so you can't imagine the Bob Marley did live past 30 years. Oh my God.
Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, crazy. Oh my God. All right, let me read one more chat. And then I'll get into the next question. So Dadrian Daly said, Michael will always be Michael Jackson. He is in a class by himself. No one in the world has ever done this. He is a don. All right, cool. So that's what Dadrian said. Yeah. Okay. So Anika agreed with you. Yeah.
I agree in his own realm, yes. But in comparison to Bob Marley, then no.
Okay. All right. So let me get into the next question, Anika. Okay. Okay. So would Bob Marley be more or less famous if he was still alive? Let me repeat that. Would Bob Marley be more or less famous if he was still alive?
All right. So if he was still alive, he would be, I don't know if he would be less famous, right? He'd still be famous. I don't know if he'd be more famous, but I don't think he would be less famous. He would have encountered a lot of the backlash, the back and forth with they are like similar to what R. Kelly and all them people went through. They would have probably dug deeper, find more people to come and point fingers and say whatever. So I wouldn't say he would be less famous, but I don't think that. And sometimes you are also famous for the wrongs that you've done to you. So
right.
It could be either or, but I think that he would have a. I don't want to jump around the question, but I feel like he would have gone through a lot, media wise, he'd have probably lost a few fans. But the old fans already knew all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like we've heard, we know all of this stuff. So it's not he'd probably remain what he is, but he probably wouldn't be like the great. Like he would have probably lost a lot more respect. Like I don't even know how to put it, but yeah, he would have undergone some backlash if he was
You think
alive.
Bob Marley would have got some backlash if he was still alive?
Bob Marley, well, then again, only time will tell, because remember, like the era that we know Bob Marley from is a different era than now. Who knows? Look at Jackie. Like Jackie got jail and come back, and you'd think him change, and then he reach back with party. You never know what Bob Marley would do in a film days. You don't know. Him dead young. You know, even get to see half of like why his true potential. Like when
he was only 33 years old.
Yeah, what about that? So you never know. Remember, people change. Like after like if somebody not frame you, and in a gusto or in near gusto sometimes. So like you would never know what he would have encountered. So the fact that he's dead, and he created something great before he passed away. And it's as a result of that why things live on, right? If he didn't put in any work, if he wasn't considered great, then we don't have the Bob Marley to talk about today. But it was just because of the work at his age, the magnitude of work that he put through is as a result of what is happening right now. The work that he had put in, and then the work that his family and they did after he passed away is why he's so recognized and so influential to this day. Maybe if he'd lived till he was 60, you'd hear something that changed your whole mindset about Bob Marley. People don't even want to hear about it. Yeah.
Especially in this PC era,
right?
And social media era where nothing is in the dark anymore.
Where people keep receipts for everything, like them just want to have a fun. Yep, you then never know.
Yeah.
So hats off to both great. They're both great, but in comparison with a landslide, I would have to say that Bob Marley is way more influential with all the points that I've put forth previously. Those are the grounds that I determined that Bob Marley is way more influential than Michael Jackson.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, let me read one more chat before I ask you this question. All right, so
the chat hot man.
Yeah, I know, right? CJ Facey said some people only get their flowers after they're gone, so I'm not sure if he'd be as famous.
Right. Agreed. I totally agree. That's what I was trying to say. Like after most time, them always say something some people are worth more dead than alive, and I think Bob Marley was one of those persons that probably would be. Is worth more dead probably than if he was alive, because things change, things and times change, music change, and probably would have got listen, people change, like look at you probably say Bob Marley, I'll trim off the dread. No, you're not even associate dread with him no more. So you never know.
Bob Marley would have trimming dread. Come on, man.
Probably, you never know. You never know. Bob Marley probably would have gone natural. You know what I say, like Bob Marley. You never know. You never know.
Oh my God, that's the first time I heard that one. That one is the first time, but that's funny as hell. That's funny as hell.
But not a lie, look what's such a legend.
But Morgan Heritage said, "You don't have a dread to be Rasta."
Well, that's true. Like you could have got Christian or something. I don't associate it with Rasta no more. So you never know. We are basing all of this off a 33-year-old. Well, the life of a 33-year-old before it passed, right?
All right, let me read this. These couple chats.
What is about not true?
Yeah. So, Deidre Daly said, "I love Bob Marley music, but Jimmy Cliff was the first artist to put reggae music to the world. Big up Bob still for a great song, his great songs."
Great points, Deidre.
Jimmy Cliff is up there though. Jimmy Cliff
Yeah.
is you know,
I
and
like
I
Jimmy Cliff.
love Jimmy Cliff's music. You know, he
Yeah, I
makes,
do. I like it.
and he's a phenomenal actor as well. Just an all round
Yeah.
great personality.
He
But you
is.
know,
He is.
he wasn't on Bob's level of stardom though. You know, but
Right.
you know, yeah,
Influence, you know?
you know, but Jimmy Cliff is still alive to this day. You know, and still
Mm-hmm.
you know still doing it. You know, oh my, and Jimmy Cliff might be older than Bob.
Right, yeah, that too.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. But you know, I had to pin this comment right here as well. CJ Faces said, "Dead with laugh." Bob not trim. Hey, what a thing! What if there was an alternate universe where Bob Marley never died and he's a bald Christian in the future?
May I tell you?
No,
Oh boy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So look, I'm trying to get Ali on the call. I think he's available. So
Okay.
let me ask you one last question, Anika.
Sure, go
and then
ahead.
We'll just wrap up this call and try to get Ali on for maybe another 10 minutes, and then that's it. All right. All right.
Okay,
so
of course.
you have there's this big name store, right? You have this big name store, something like a Walmart.
Right.
You have it in all 6 continents in the world, in all the big
Right.
cities,
Mhm.
right? You have a section where you have Bob Marley mugs and Michael Jackson mugs right next to it. You have a section where you have Bob Marley t-shirts, Michael Jackson t-shirts right next to it.
Okay.
What face? I'm not talking about just one region, but overall, what brand will sell most of the mugs and most of the t-shirts? Is it Bob Marley or is it Michael Jackson?
Okay. All right. And then who are gonna buy this? Who are the consumers? Tourists or like people in general?
But everybody.
Everybody.
It's a store like Walmart, a big convenience store. You have it in every major city in the world.
Okay. All right. So I would have to say, just because I stand on what I said before, I would have, when I think about it, would be a close call. But I feel like Bob would outshine the sales. I really feel like Bob Marley would outshine the sales just because Bob Marley really is a brand. And I don't know if Michael Jackson is a brand.
Right.
Right.
I
So
don't know if
that's why.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so that's how I narrowed it down, because Bob Marley itself is a brand. So if you understand what branding is, then you would think that the brand would be the one that is way more. So I think Bob Marley would be the Gucci, and then Michael Jackson would be the no. Let's not put it like that, because and everybody can buy Gucci. So let me take that back.
Okay.
Bob Marley are gonna be the household name. So in a sense, I think Bob Marley would
Nike.
Right, like a Nike then. Bob Marley would have been a Nike. Everybody have a pair. You know what I
if
say?
Bob Marley is Nike, then Michael Jackson is what brand?
Probably a Reebok. So and everybody now go for a Reebok, but some people will
Oh my God! Hey, Michael Jackson fans are gonna kill us in the comments when they watch this replay. Because best believe they're gonna see it. Best believe they're gonna see it.
But it's true. I stand on what I stand on. Michael Jackson is a Reebok. Okay?
But I see what you're saying, because I see what you're saying. It's not that Michael Jackson is less of a brand, but Michael Jackson never marketed themselves that way.
Proper.
They never marketed themselves that
They
way.
didn't try to be a brand.
They didn't build
like,
brand recognition in merchandising. Like Bob Marley did with merchandising. So, it's hard to compete with Bob in that era because he jumped on that early. His estate jumped on that early. Not
very
that there wasn't merchandise with Michael Jackson, but it was more geared towards music merchandise and concert
Right.
tickets
Concerts and
merchandise.
right, right, and naming a street and all of those stuff. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
So
if you would look in in somebody's cabinet and a random person cabinet and see a shot glass or a coffee
just as
mug
exactly,
with Bob Marley and reggae colors or African colors or something like that. But how many cabinets do
absolutely.
you see a Michael Jackson print on a mug? Like I
Right.
don't see that a lot. You
I
know?
don't, for sure. Maybe they have something that they went to a concert one time and get. You know what I mean? But nothing that they have that they are gonna be like, oh, I got this Bob Marley thing. I went here and I got it, and they don't even have to go to Jamaica to get it. That's what the thing. Because some people may just say, oh, Bob Marley is just a Jamaican thing. You don't have to go to Jamaica to get them the Bob Marley stuff. Them
Yeah. No, they sell
yeah,
online. They sell everywhere. CJ Faces
everywhere.
said Michael a Fubu. Remember Fubu?
See their faces. No, no,
CJ,
you gonna get cussed out in the chat, CJ.
CJ, your face is for real, man.
A fubu. I don't even remember someone brand new fubu.
First Millennial Entertainment says Michael is like filler. But
Let's
why
stop
y'all gotta do
it.
Michael like that, man? Come on, man. Y'all gotta put some respect on Michael Jackson's name, man. Come on, man. Come on,
Filler.
man. Y'all gotta put some respect on Michael's name, man.
Oh my goodness. The chat is on fire.
I know the chat is undefeated. Anyways, Nika,
Yes.
it was a pleasure speaking with you. Very, 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 very interesting engagement. Very, very interesting. You had some good talking points, and you were very, very,
Great.
very good with the chat as well.
Yes, absolutely. I'm over here in the chat. I'm looking at the comments too. That's why I'm cracking up. But yeah, yes, Tristan, go and big up yourself. Big up the chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you all for tuning in on a Sunday. The topics have been getting more interesting every week. So as I always say, tell a friend to tell a friend. So if they're not over yourself, them Sunday evening is very, very sad. Tristan, go
All
and big up
right.
yourself.
Everybody, that's Anika. Thank you for coming, Anika.
You're welcome. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Okay?
Have a good
Bye.
one. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. So, guys, oh my God. What a call. What a call. Very, 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 very interesting. We got one more call that we're going to line up. Ali, line up yourself. So, let me play some music real quick while I set up the next call. All right, guys?
Hello?
Ali!
Wagwan.
Oh my God, man. Thank you for making it, man.
Yeah, man, you don't know, so yeah, we're going to pass through same way. You see me? Make
Yeah,
a time,
man.
man. Pass through for real, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely. How is everything on your side?
Boy, everything good enough, One of them busy Sunday, but that's how it go.
No, man. Totally understand, man. Totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
One of them thing, man. One of them thing, we don't have much time. We're like 33 minutes over the time. I mean, we did start
Yeah.
late, to be honest. We started at
Oh,
6:15 for like a technical reasons and stuff. So,
yeah.
one of those things. I had a
But,
big hiccup. I started the live on one end, and then I couldn't connect it from where I started in the
oh, Lord.
browser to my to my whatchamacallit, to my software, the studio
Yeah.
software and all that. It was a big
Mm-hmm.
hiccup, but we're here and we're a little bit over
Yeah.
time, but let's make it a good 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, man, we still there same way. So yeah, what you mean?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you
man.
you get a chance to read the topic, the script, or anything.
Me see it, but me never read it, to be honest. Me just not too long look on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you don't know, we still are going to be a off our day now, we create name now, so, you know?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting some feedback, but
Oh, well, let me take off the... You can hear me now?
yes, yeah, yes, you're very clear.
Okay. No, but it's up on speaker. I'm tuned in at the basement, yeah, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to say about the topic? Is it fair to compare Michael Jackson to Bob Marley?
Well, yes, we're not going to say it's fair, you know. But we can see why you want to compare them because of, you know, their popularity. When it comes down to music and people, you know. You know,
Right.
the world, when we look in the world, the popularity of Bob Marley and Michael Jackson go all over to the each corner of the world, you know, everybody almost, you can say, you probably heard of Bob Marley or probably heard, and Michael Jackson as well, you know.
Right.
So, I'm not going to say if it's fair or not. No, the one thing what me that say still is that the two of them music is very influential in different ways.
Right.
You know, like it all depends on you, the individual. So, you know.
So who do you think?
Hmm.
Who do you think will be more famous? Who do you think is more famous now, and who will be more famous in the
All
next
right,
20 years?
all right. Michael Jackson will always and forever be more famous than Bob Marley. It might sound away. It might sound away, but that's just the truth of it. You see me? I say. Here's the reason why.
All
Because Bob
right.
Marley,
Let's go.
Michael Jackson, right? Remember, you know, Michael Jackson, born in America, for
Right.
example. You see me? I say where his music here is reached all over the globe just because the mere fact that he born in America and then push him commercially.
Mm.
Michael Jackson was pushed commercially to everybody,
Right.
right? Cause him a the, if you want really, really think about it and really pre the levels, him probably are one of the biggest artists who can ever say where everybody know.
Right.
I may understand Bob Marley, me a Jamaican, you see me, I may love Bob Marley. Bob Marley are my favorite one of my favorite artists
Right.
and thing. No, the difference with Bob Marley is that with Bob Marley and may I tell you the two difference for me see with the two of them first before me jump to Bob Marley. Bob Marley touch people spiritually,
Right.
right? For those who are into the spirituality as well, even if you're in it or not, Bob Marley song alone will touch you spiritually, give you confidence. You see me? Touch your consciousness and your subconsciousness as well. You see me? I say,
Yeah.
and think, Michael Jackson music, on the other hand, is more emotional. You see me? I say, so Michael Jackson music more give more of the almost you say like the human experience. You know what I mean? You see me? Of
Right.
the different type of emotions and so. Not saying that Bob Marley that have songs like that or that Michael Jackson have sung conscious songs, but most of Bob Marley songs was based off of more of the consciousness, the the social justice, injustice, I mean, and and try to uplift people. Bob Marley song, most of Bob Marley song is always uplifting. You can get a message out of it.
Right.
You know, Michael Jackson song now, more the emotions and you get that human experience of a Michael Jackson song. But I don't know if you understand what I mean when I say human experience.
Right. No, I understand it. You touch certain, like you evoke certain emotions
Yes,
that humanize you, basically.
there you go. There you go. So that's the difference when we say Bob Marley more uplifting. Now, but no, what I'm gonna say now, I'm get back to is that Bob Marley. The reason why Bob Marley is not that popular like Michael Jackson is that again, when Bob Marley started in a small country, for example Jamaica, Bob Marley wasn't pushed commercially like how Michael Jackson was pushed commercially.
Right.
You see what I say? That, but the thing is, where them push Bob Marley with is not only him song. Them put look at it as almost like a negative stigma
Right.
of ganja smoking. Anything we do with ganja smoking, as soon as they say ganja smoking, they start thinking about Bob Marley, for
Right.
example. You see me? Them start push stuff like that um associate Bob Marley with smoking, which nothing the rank. I would know he was a smoker and
Right.
thing, but at the same time, it wasn't pushed commercially to every household. Like how Michael Jackson was pushed commercially to every household.
What? Hold on for a sec, though. I
Mhm.
agree with you right there. But
Mhm.
back in the days when Bob Marley was around,
Mhm.
at one point reggae music was
But
basically up there with pop
but
music
but back in the day, here the thing is, back in
yeah.
the day, still there wasn't a much. All right, compare Bob Marley record to Michael Jackson records. Michael Jackson records are sell millions. You see me? I don't know how much millions, but I can guarantee you, say Michael Jackson records sell maybe double, if not triple times what Bob Marley records sell. You see me? And this is just me go off of my, you see me? Just a me a talk or I give my opinion. This is
Hmm.
not fact because I never did the stats, but I would assume that
He
Michael
sold more
Jackson
records.
eh,
He
sell
sold
way
more
more records.
records.
Yeah, even
Yeah, I could agree.
so guess what? Them push Michael Jackson more. So for example, look on the scenario now. In a music back in the days we had music stores. In a music store, right? You'd have two Bob Marley CDs. But if you
Hmm.
look at the Michael Jackson CDs, you have about 10, 12. You see me I say? So Michael Jackson I get more chance of people listen to him than Bob Marley back in the days. Because technology wasn't like how it is advanced like how it is now. That's
Right.
just another example where you can use as well to say why so much people listen to more Michael Jackson than Bob Marley.
So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think that you can just bring that down to record sales though? Because there's like for instance, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these younger artists, right? They're selling way
Mm-hmm.
more. They're selling way more records than let's say a Jay Z right now. If a Jay Z should put out an album, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
have as much notoriety as Jay Z does. So record sale can be a part of it, but I don't think that should be the determining factor. Similarly, like Grammy, I mean, I'm not sure if you were watching the live earlier, but we brought up Kabaka Pyramid winning the Grammy, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
rightfully so. I think that the music that he makes is deserving of a Grammy. But there's like
Right.
other people that are doing like crap music that are moving the needle more than Kabaka Pyramid in sales. So
Right.
I can't say Grammy and record sales mean that a
Uh,
person is more
let,
famous
let,
or
let,
have
let me
more
use
notoriety.
another term and see if me can answer a question by just using this. Me give you an example. See, you have two books. You have an author by the name of Shakespeare. Everybody knows Shakespeare, right? But you have another book of an author by the name of Virgil. Back in the day, this was back in the day, what, 70 BCs or something like that. This author was, he used to write a lot of books. But the thing is, what me I bring across is that him write about 4 or 5 books, I think, and they're very, very good inspirational book. You see me? Shakespeare write more romance and all of that. And he write hundreds of stories. You see me I say? Who people know, if I go to anybody now and ask them about Shakespeare, them can tell us something about Shakespeare. But if I ask enough people about Virgil, them can't tell us much about Virgil. See?
Right,
So the
right.
reason why I say all of this, the reason I bring all of this is that at the end of the day, when these guys, especially me, I look on it from a business perspective now, when these guys know, businessman push out Michael Jackson, for example, they might make sure he must sell millions, or say each household have at least two a film CD. You see me I say? When Bob Marley I get push out, him not get that strong push out like how Michael Jackson gets. So it'll come down to sales as well. Sales are gonna be a impact on it,
Okay,
on the
so
decision.
fine, I'll accept that that's a part of it, but not the
Yeah.
determining factor, right? Similar like the
Mhm.
Grammy is a part of it, but not the determining factor. But what say you
Mhm.
about the marketing and the branding of these guys? Do you think that that has a factor as far as who's going to be more famous after? Because when you think about it, we just spoke about it earlier. If you go to
Yeah.
like some random people's house right now
Mhm.
and open up the
Mhm.
cabinet, they have hand you a drink with a mug,
Mhm.
or you take, you'll see a mug or a shot glass with a Bob Marley branding on there more
Yeah.
often than you would see a Michael Jackson.
All
So,
right. You know
yeah.
why that is, though? One of the reasons why I think that is because Bob Marley, Bob Marley basically was Jamaica, for example. You see me I say? Bob Marley they control the niche of Jamaica in terms of with theme face or the me talk about the marketing aspect now. You see me? The way they market Bob Marley. Once you see a Rasta man, remember Rasta man unique back then. A man with smoke. You see me? A man who represent a small island like Jamaica, beautiful island and all of that. So Bob Marley get all of them good necessities there to push him in the market when he come out to marketing. You see me I say? The difference with Michael Jackson is that Michael Jackson name been tarnished for one, and then really and truly in America or in the Western Hemisphere, where Michael Jackson would have fully dominate. You see me? Really and truly, what is there special about what Michael Jackson really do than when he moonwalk, for example? There's nothing different. Yes, he have to change up from him black to white. Then they have to change him up just for bringing some type of relevancy. Yes, to the public. You know what I mean? So Bob Marley get pushed with all of the positive stuff then behind him, and which is rightly so. When it come out to marketing, and Michael Jackson really and truly, when a host that I really want in a house with a Michael Jackson upon it, to be honest, what you could have think of if you're looking at your house right now, where I really want to see a Michael Jackson
Unless
picture
you
from.
are a Michael Jackson fan. So
Unless you're a hardcore Michael Jackson fan.
on
No,
the other
you
hand,
can't.
go ahead. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna let you finish. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I was going to say, you can go into any person who, even a Christian person, even a person believing in God so much, and find a Bob Marley. You see me, I say? And things. So, you see me, Bob Marley, theme thing just get, and again, with him positive music, and him hitting the consciousness all the time. Of course, spiritually, of course, people are going to gravitate to Bob Marley in a marketing sense.
So with
More
that
than,
said,
mhm.
with that said, Ali, because I didn't say it, you said enough.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
that said, do you still
Mhm.
believe that Michael Jackson will remain more famous than Bob Marley in the years to come? With all that you have just said.
With all that I've just said, to be honest with you, that is a very, very difficult answer, to answer. But here why I say so. If you really, me living in America right now, Zine, and me just a pre for me I look at me and say, all right, Michael Jackson, him popularity will go through generation upon generation because, for one, everybody, I gotta say, Michael Jackson influenced them and all of that. Not saying that Bob Marley don't influence. Bob Marley influenced almost everybody when come to music. You
Right.
see me I say? But in all honesty, and this probably gonna be I don't know, a contradicting answer, I don't know. But I think that Bob Marley, for years, generation to come, he gonna live on forever. Right? Because one of the good things with Bob Marley, there's nothing that you can say could have tarnished Bob Marley name where people now go look upon him as you see me?
Right.
As a role model compared to, come on, you can't look at Michael Jackson, be honest. You can't look at Michael Jackson really and say you're my role model unless you really love Michael Jackson song. And, if you look on Bob Marley now, you look on, I say, everything Bob Marley do was positive, everything in my talk is somehow hit for consciousness.
Right.
You see me I say? So, guess what? More people will gravitate to Bob Marley more years to come.
This man
You see me I say?
single-handedly carried
Mhm.
marijuana smoking and the use
There
of
you go.
marijuana on his back
And
to,
it's
to,
back.
to where we can
Don't
look
forget
up in
that.
2023 and see marijuana legalized for medicinal use in most places
Ah,
and also recreational, legalized
all
for
right.
recreational uses in a lot of places.
Yep. So, well, on, if you look at a man like Obama acknowledged say him Bob Marley influenced him. You see me I say? If a president of the United States cannot acknowledge a man like Bob Marley, you see me I say that's supposed to tell
Right.
you him pulling power. And again, as I rightly say, the man single-handedly pushed the use of marijuana. You see me? And you can say the man single-handedly pushed Rastafarism to the world. You see me I say? The religion. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Bob Marley is carrying more weight as it relates to cultural influence, marketing, and branding, to where there's no way and I guess I'm concluding and taking a position right now.
Yeah.
But there's no
Yeah.
way I can see Michael Jackson being more popular or famous than Bob Marley
That, that,
in the next 20 years from now because of the groundwork that Bob Marley has
Bob
and his
Marley.
estate has put in. You're talking about all right. So Michael Jackson has a big record label pushing him around the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bob Marley has a whole country
I
pushing
put
him
it.
around the world.
Yeah.
That's
But
bigger than a
remember,
record label.
yeah, but remember me, that's why I say I agree with Bob Marley. Years to come, with the continuity of music and so years to come, Bob Marley definitely are gonna be what do you call it, famous than probably Michael Jackson. But right now, if you ask me who's more influential, like I asked at the first part, but I say, yes, why did I ask at the first part? Who did more influential?
I think I
Or
asked you. Let's
you asked me
see.
something like,
Who? I think I asked you who will be more famous. Who's
who
more
more
famous
famous?
right now,
So
and
so
who
right,
will be more
yes.
famous in the
So
years to
right
come?
now, Michael Jackson is still famous because Michael Jackson did the other day, basically compared to Bob Marley. Yes, and then Michael Jackson again, more people. To me, that's my assumption. Around the world, more people would know more Michael Jackson. 'Cause if you really go anywhere in the world right now, Zine, any little corner you probably hear Michael Jackson at play somewhere. You see me I say? No,
True.
compared to a Bob Marley, you'd more find somebody who more conscious, more spiritually mature. For example, a beat more Bob Marley. You see me I say? Than Michael Jackson. But if you go anywhere in the world right now, you probably hear no, as well as you probably hear more Michael Jackson compared to Bob Marley. But again, years to come, we have him have a country behind him, and him have countries, not even a country. Him have countries behind him because he have a football team in the Netherlands, Ajax.
Right.
We did have in Jersey. You see me, Villa Jersey, just for tribute to Michael Jackson, and I play with it.
And let's
So,
talk about Africa. Africa take Bob Marley for themselves.
see that? You see me, I say, that's what I'm showing you. This is what I said. That's why, yes, Bob Marley, after years to come, Bob Marley are going to be way more. Look on this. To me, Bob Marley, and this is my assumption again, Bob Marley is way more influential than Elvis Presley. See?
Elvis Presley is not even in this conversation. Just being quite honest.
Okay. But as I said still, right now, influential, no, Bob Marley, I'm Bob Marley. Michael Jackson right now, more famous than me. No, Michael Jackson take it over right now, but years to come, Bob Marley. I don't know if that answer will be contradicting. I don't think so. I think I just answered two questions.
All right. All right. Let me ask you this question, right? We're about to wrap it up. It's getting kind of late. All right.
Yeah,
so
man.
here's a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have this big conglomerate store, something like Walmart, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have locations in all six continents in the world, every major city in the world.
Mm-hmm.
In your merchandise section or your household and clothing section, you have a mug with Michael Jackson's branding on it, and another beside it with Bob Marley's branding on it. You also have T-shirts and like clothing wear with Michael Jackson's branding on it, and another one beside it with Bob Marley's branding
Bob
on
Marley.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those items, both clothing and household goods, are gonna sell more? Bob Marley's branding or Michael Jackson's?
And this answer me again is based again off of my thing there, my perspective. I'm not gonna have a definite facts on this, but I would assume Bob Marley clothing will sell way more than Michael Jackson. Cause me looking at it, me just a picture it now me at that store. I'm gonna see a Michael Jackson T-shirt. I'm gonna see a me I go for Bob Marley all day, and it's not because me a Jamaican. As me say now, Bob Marley songs them touch your consciousness. You see me? And things. So of course, people know Bob Marley, I go for Bob Marley. You see me? I say. And things. So me would have assumed that Bob Marley would have sell way more than Michael Jackson.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think where Michael Jackson's estate went wrong is
Mm-hmm.
with carrying on his name is definitely the marketing, because
Right.
I think that I don't know how they think about it, but I'm thinking that
Mm-hmm.
they probably think of the Michael Jackson brand as with so much class and
Mm-hmm.
prestige that they shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be reduced to trying to sell every single knick-knack
Right.
and paddywhack with him on
But
there,
let
but
me ask you this.
go ahead.
Let me ask you this real quick. I don't want to cut you.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
but when you really please, if me I run Michael Jackson estate, me that be as much confused, I remember the man was confused when he was alive. You see me? He never know if he want to be black or white. So which one you go freedom it?
Yeah,
Which one
yeah.
you really have a market now? If you have to put Michael Jackson, you have to say, all right, should we put the black Michael Jackson upon it, or the white? Okay, anyway, we drop both of them. See? Boom. You know what make Michael Jackson, we tarnish Michael Jackson to the point where enough people not even take him serious or look upon him, the case where him have with the liquor boys
Yeah.
and them stuff. You see me? Them think they tarnish him. So really and truly, you can't blame the estate. The estate don't know what to do. The man was confused. The man did have so much things behind him, so much bad stigma behind him, where it's hard, you see me, to market him like how Bob Marley can be marketed.
Right.
You see me? The only bad stigma we can really sit down and pray with Bob Marley, and to man, he would assume say it's a good stigma that, and it's the fact that the man, they love woman. All over the man have beer woman. You see me? I say, what, really and truly, when you think about Bob Marley, give me one bad thing I can think about Bob Marley. You see me?
No,
I say?
that's the only thing, and is that such a bad thing? Because when you think about it, that's a cultural thing to where there's men in Africa that has multiple wives. It's just a part of the culture,
Right. So
Yeah.
you see me? I say, so, that's why Bob Marley I gotta take it in the years to come. Bob Marley I gotta take the lead. And right now, if me I go buy a merchandise, or with most people I would assume when them a buy a merchandise, they would run and go buy a Bob Marley.
And you know what? Also, to Ali, I think there's there's probably a lot of big brick and mortar stores that don't want
Right.
they probably don't even really want to touch the Michael Jackson brand just
Then why
because
would
of
you?
the allegations, especially in a time like
Exactly.
this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's
Yep.
not like those allegations came up when he died. It came up prior
Right.
to. I think he had to do a deposition or something like that. I don't remember. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
Right.
It's,
No.
it's a problem that he had to deal with. He had to do
Right.
interviews and answer very hard questions about that,
Mm-hmm.
and his
So,
replies shocked me.
all right, let me say something to you. Me, we have kids, right? You have kids also.
Right.
Really and truly now, if you could pick between Michael Jackson and Bob Marley, right, for your picking and listen, you as an individual, who you the pick? I'm not talk for be biased and say, okay, Bob Marley, because just when you pre-the with the two of them track record, who you go for?
Well, honestly, all right. Listen, you see, when it comes to music, I don't really get down into people's lifestyle that much when it comes to music. To be honest,
Okay.
if a song is good
Take out them
and
lifestyle in.
the content is good, I don't have a problem with it as long as the content is good and is a good message. But if you ask me, I think I would let them listen both guys, because generally the content in both artists catalog is a very good positive content, so
And
I
let me
don't
tell
mind
you
them listening both.
And let me tell you this, I respect your answer, and I respect you're the moderator. You see me, so you don't want to pick sides, I understand. But let me tell you this now, Dean, me personally, and me I gotta tell you straight, me personally, if my pick them for pick between Michael Jackson and Bob Marley all day, because right there someone know say at least them are gonna get some type of, you see me, them are gonna get something, some substance. You see me, I said something we can bring forth in them future. You see me, something them can learn off as well. They eat them consciousness. You see me, so when them hear a song with them Bob Marley would I say, when him say, where do I wanna go? But where do I wanna go? But none of them, where go again?
Which one?
Redemption song, man.
A redemption song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That song there one of the most powerful songs
Powerful.
me ever
Yeah.
hear in my life. You see
Yeah.
me I say? Yeah, man. When the man say don't have no fear for atomic energy,
Wow.
because none of them can stop the time.
Wow.
No, it might pick me and listen to a song like them there and thing. You see me I say? And them I go through a little problem or somebody, them I'll
Yeah.
remember that, reminisce back to that.
Yeah.
You see me? Hit them consciousness and say, yeah, I don't have no fear. You see me? I don't fear you. You can't do nothing to me, basically. You see me I say? Things like them, the substance. Bob Marley brings substance. Michael Jackson, if you want, get a nice mood going on and so, you play some love song with Michael Jackson. If you want to sit down and you want to go in a little, you see me? You feel sorry for you, play another Heal the World or one of them songs there.
Yeah.
You see me? Yeah, man. So, you see me? I say, that's how me view it still. That's just my opinion,
Fear.
Yeah, man.
All right, so I'm gonna read this last comment and then I'm gonna wrap it up,
Yeah, man.
Ali. So
Yeah, man.
Deidre Daly said, if Bob Marley was alive and Michael Jackson was alive and they both have a show, have two shows in the same city, you would have more people at Michael Jackson's show. What say you?
Yeah, man. All right. You gotta have more people, and that's why I said to you earlier, say, hold on there.
Depends
That's
on
why
the
I
city.
said earlier.
Depends on the city. It depends on the city.
Well, it depends on the city, but
Yeah.
if you look on it at say him got Madison Square Garden, for example. Is one of the biggest stage.
MJ all day.
MJ I got there. If you
MJ
come
all
to Jamaica, that's different. If you go Africa, that's different. You see me? And don't know. I would even say different in Africa, for be honest with you,
Africa
when them
loves
people
MJ. Africa loves MJ.
That's what I was going to tell you. You see me? And say, so if him come in person, for example, have a concert, yes, then Michael Jackson will take it. That's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think if it was in Jamaica, if Michael Jackson possibly could take it too, just because people
Of
would
course.
be like, "Oh, I'm already used to Bob Marley. I want to see MJ."
All
You see the
right.
Chris Brown concert the other day.
There you go. So, and that's why I come back to him and tell him, say, yo, years to come, Bob Marley all day. But
Yeah.
Michael Jackson now, when he come on to being famous,
All right. So
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up,
Yeah, man.
Ali. Man, as
Yeah,
usual,
man.
man, it was a pleasure talking to you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Definitely
man.
hope to do this again, man.
Yes,
You
man. You
know.
don't know, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So thank you for sparing the time. It was supposed to be 10 minutes, but it ended up being 28. So I'm thankful for
That's how it go.
that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Again, manners and respect, and to all of the subscribers them out there, and so you see me, manners and respect. Anybody are tune in, like, share, and subscribe.
all day, all day.
Oh.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, man. Manners and respect, man.
All right, everybody, make some noise for Ali.
Uh,
Yeah. All right, peeps. So yeah, that was our last call, guys. Man, it was a great show. I definitely enjoyed every bit of it, and thank you to everyone that contributed in every single way. Whether you just watched it, whether you contributed to the chat, you commented in the chat, whether you called in, whatever it may be, whether you shared it, whether you just liked it, it doesn't matter. Thank you for your support, and I hope to continue giving you guys content like this that can be interesting, that you can stick it out with and watch the whole live and be a part of, and we're growing each day, and we hope to keep growing, and it's not just live videos. I'm releasing like regular videos about entertainment topics, whether it be sports entertainment or just regular social media or media entertainment, each day, or a couple times a week. I'm trying to keep you guys entertained. So if you haven't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and definitely hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever a new video drops. All right. Definitely big up everybody in the chat. Big up Lorna Smith, my mom. Big up moms. Big up Deidre and Daly. Big up CJ Facey. Big up First Millennial Entertainment. Big up Lorna Ebanks. Big up Anika. Big up Factify World Forum. Big up JRO. You know what I mean? big up Jacqueline Smith, big up Sandy Gray, Andy Smith, Musain 257, Howard Chin. Big up everybody in the chat, everybody that contributed, and whoever I never bigged up, big up yourself. I'm sorry I missed your name. So thank you guys for tuning in as well. And also, guys, remember to watch the previous lives that we had. I did about 8 or 9 previous lives so far, and they're all basically the type of vibe like it is here. Real people, real conversations, breaking down topics, and giving their opinions on things, and also bringing facts to the table as well. So if you're interested in this show, or you like how the vibe of this show is, definitely you want to go and check out the other shows like this as well, where we talk about funny topics, hard topics. We've even talked about whether the last topic actually was whether there's intelligent life besides human beings. So you should go ahead and check out that topic and hear what people are saying there. And we'll always come with more topics that are interesting in that way. So definitely go check those out. Also go check out the videos that we posted as well, about the sports, entertainment, and other stuff like that. And you definitely, guys, if you're interested in dancehall music as well, go ahead and check out the music on the channel. I have a bunch of music on the channel that I produced and released. If you guys didn't know, I'm also a music producer. I make beats, I produce music, mix, master, engineer, all that stuff. So if you're not familiar with that side of my works, go ahead, you could go check it out on the channel and go way back to see all the works that I have, all the videos and visualizers, all that stuff. And then you can also type in, search for JRO, or search for Delarue, or search for Falco the General. Those are the 3 of the guys that I mostly work with. I do a lot of work with them. You'll see it either on my page or their page. Just go ahead and check it out. Again, guys, I don't want to be too long-winded. I'm about to end the live right now. Thank you again for everyone that's here and everyone that came out. And we're going to end with some music real quick. And then we'll be out of here. All right? Cool. Bless up, everybody.
I wait for an opportunity to escape.
Things I'm a trampos. Me no need nothing from you. And if you hear something different, somebody must give you the wrong news. The Benz off the park side of the Land Cruise. Good body girl, welcome, thank you. You know see me lifestyle impromptu. Me get my thing them brand new. Man keeping it real, I'm not just run my mouth. Well, militant can't take me for no Boy Scout. Try through life, I'ma keep on the money route. Knowledge what them a talk about. Yo, me have to rich forever and ever and ever. Tell them I pray for rich forever and ever and ever. Search for better, rich forever and ever and ever. Go for the cheddar, rich forever and ever and ever, ever and ever. Enough man born poor and them die poor. Unsure what them I live them life for. Me can't see myself forever in a corner store. Me see myself at tour relaxing on Bahamas shore. Paying for every clothes that my mama wore. Right now me guaranteed to be a guarantor. Full time and start think like entrepreneur. Move up to the top and level the score. Man keeping it real, I'm not just run my mouth. Well, militant can't take me for no Boy Scout. I'ma try through life, I'ma keep on the money route. Knowledge what them I talk about. Yo, man, I feel rich forever and ever and ever. Tell them I pray for rich forever and ever and ever. Search for better, rich forever and ever and ever. Go for the cheddar.